more this season. WPHT 21 and over, present NPA, first online real money wager only, $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
It must be nice to not worry about how you're performing in the ratings on television. You're overpaid and you're not worth remotely close to that. Because I got to work in radio where every day is the Super Bowl. But that's fine. Double down, Anna.
Is it possible for these women to have a conversation without them all speaking over one another?
Well, you know what I do now? Since you guys can't stop talking over each other and we've got the 12 of you on the set, because you got so much to say and you won't shut up and let the other person talk. So in order to justify your bloated, worthless salary, we're going 9 to noon.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app. On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Happy Black Friday, and that gets into our side question in a little bit. But another mission. Let me tell you, I was going through what the heck we were going to do with our Person of the Year. And every year we do it, but we do one nationally and one locally. Had to make a change because it was obvious to me it's no fun if one person... And I know some people like to spoil things. Come on. Person of the Year thing is supposed to be fun. I like it when it goes down to the wire. We had one year where it was thousands of votes. And the one person that won it may have been by 3 or 4 votes after thousands and thousands of votes. So I made a little change up. You'll see on Monday the local candidates, after asking people on Twitter and Dan and everybody else, you'll be able to vote for Jim Worthington, the guy who led the charge, raising more money for President Trump than anybody. You know, PACs don't count. I'm just talking straight up, raising money. Linda Kearns, Election Integrity Central. You know her record. You know her work. You know exactly what she's done. And Sean Parnell. Sean Parnell's regional. All right, who is the third here locally? The third locally, I had it up here too. I'll come back to the local. I put Sean Parnell in a new category. Sean Parnell and Scott Presler in a new category, the regional, meaning Pennsylvania. Oh, Van Drew was the other locally, Jeff Van Drew. And then regionally, Scott Presler, Dave McCormick, Sean Parnell. And then the national, so far I have Elon Musk, RFK Jr., and Don Jr. A lot of juniors, a lot of Musk. Unless something changes, you'll see them each day next week, starting with the local, which might be a pretty good contest. But Scott Presler I had to take out of the local. First of all, he's not local. Second of all, it takes all the fun away. I mean, you just, I was thinking of putting him in there with Elon Musk. I might, if he wins the regional, which I think he will. I'd say, all right, let's put him in there with Elon Musk, too, and see what happens here. Who's the person of the year? And I saw this. Someone sent it to me. Their idea, but I'm going to now make it a mission statement. The president gives Medal of Honor. They seem to do this periodically. It's the civilian highest honor, right? Many times it's just entertainment people. Seems like they do it once or twice a year. I don't know. It seems kind of random, and everybody gets a medal, and they're there in Washington and all that. What about Scott Presler as deserving of that award? It's not just because Trump is president. It's also Presler is kind of like a mythic figure. It's like he came in. Remember, I told you I've known him since he did the trash pickups in places like Baltimore, how dirty Baltimore was. That started it. But then suddenly he's on our doorstep, and Scott Presler is the person who is leading the charge to win Pennsylvania. So I will put it through my back channels, but we ought to start it on Twitter. Start talking about it. Scott Presler deserves that award. And you can imagine him receiving it. Oh, my goodness, what that would be like. All right? I mean, we've already honored him last summer at Mulligan's, but this is the highest civilian honor. Just look at what he's accomplished. Who would be against that? Well, some in the CNNs of the world and the like would be against it, which is good. All the more reason why he should get it. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. So Presler for that highest honor. And I gave you the local contenders, Van Drew, Kearns, and Jim Worthington. The regional will be Presler, Dave McCormick, and Sean Parnell, who led the mail-in ballot across the entire state. Nationally, I have Elon Musk. We know he was a big force. RFK Jr. and Don Jr. I'm thinking about putting our villain in quotes of the year. Not exactly a villain, but, something like that. And who might that be? There would be so many people. Locally, would it be Diane Marseglia? I think so. I think Diane, you lock that down. You and Jim Harv DeGrasse, Harvey, you guys lock that down. Local villains. Jim Kenney's gone. Larry Krasner, we've done that. Diane Marseglia has hit a chord. By the way, we had a guy on the other day, Joe Hogan. I'm glad he came on. I'll play it at some point in the show today. You may not have heard it. I asked him about impeachment. He's a state rep out in Langhorne. And he said, no can do. The Democrats had the majority. I pushed back and said, come on, put it out there at least. What's going to happen to her as a result of all this? I don't know that Dave Sunday is going to charge her criminally, but certainly censure, impeachment. So I've been given another name by a very trusted source. And I sent that one to you, too. We want to see if he's up for impeachment. If he is, then we'll get him on. And we'll start that ball rolling. But I'm going to keep poking at these Republicans because I know how you feel. This ain't over with Diane Marseglia. If she can do what she did this blatantly here and get away with a couple people screaming at her, and we have to wait to 2027, that's what impeachment's for. That's what we do with presidents. We don't say you'll have to wait till the next election. We have a mechanism. Impeach them, then it goes to the Senate. Diane Marseglia certainly should have articles of impeachment against her. We certainly should drill down on this and say to all public officials, don't you dare do what she did. If you do what she did, there might be a possibility of you being impeached or being out of office. Why is this a bridge too far for Republicans? No, we shouldn't forget about it. It's not about vengeance, vindictiveness. It's about accountability. They got away with slow walking people, making them wait 8 hours in line to vote. They've done a number of other things over the years. We all know that. The Republican is weak there. The Republican Party out there doesn't seem to be pushing. I can't make them. All I know is what I can try to do. So we're on a hunt for various representatives that I'm told might be up for it with the right backing here. We'll see if one of them does it. If you just roll over and say, move on, we won, Diane Marsaglia, so what now? I don't think it works that way. I can't speak for Dave Sunday. He may investigate. He may look at election interference or something like that. Even his, I'm not saying criminal charges, but I'm saying there's something here. You just can't do what was done here that we lived through. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Just saw a story before we started today. We told you about this before, our buddy Chief Malloy over in Abington. We talked about, I think there it may have been at one point, Chilean gangs burglarizing fancy homes. Well, now I saw a story today saying that South American gangs coming into this country or in this country illegally are burglarizing the homes of NFL players. They know where they're going to play. They know when they're out of town. Mahomes, Travis Kelce are two. Now I'm going to see, once we reach this level where you have NFL players being burglarized, you know, when you have this, and they believe it's these gangs that are highly sophisticated, South American gang, Chilean was one, I think it could be other countries too, are the ones that are engaging in this. So the question becomes, isn't this another reminder of what Americans have had to deal with? I mean, these are $100 million guys, but still, their home is targeted, burglarized. I guess they have to put in security now every time they're not going to be at home playing a game. It's a very public thing. Next, they'll move on to baseball players or something. Then maybe they'll miscalculate, and maybe the family will be home, and somebody will get hurt. This is what it's about. This is what we have to stop. Okay, 855-839-1210. That will get you a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all we need to do is just push pound 1210, and we'll get you on board. In fact, here is, I'll play it later. Here is PBS now. Post-Trump winning, talking about how hatred, and you know where the hatred they say is coming from? The hatred associated with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy cutting or proposed cuts of all these federal government. I mean, I reread it before I came on today. The federal government employees now are more than the citizens or the residents of the state of Florida. There's more of them than the state of Florida. That can't be so, but apparently it is. So here is PBS, and who do they interview? The Southern Poverty Law Center. Now, this is the group that goes around calling everybody hateful. Who's the one that's hateful? Who's the one that dispenses misinformation, disinformation? They're the all-star at this. And yet they bring in millions and millions of dollars a year. Listen to this exchange, and it seems to be centered around Trump and cutting federal government.
Based on the content, Margaret, what do you make of these mass texts, and what is the intention behind them?
It's really clear to us that hate and extremist groups are using the election of Donald Trump as an encouragement to cause fear and anxiety in communities of color, in religious communities, and in the LGBTQ community. Because of his use of racist, sexist, and other discriminatory rhetoric on the campaign trail, he's essentially encouraged his followers to spew hateful rhetoric, and he's emboldened them to embrace this hateful ideology.
You know, even if Trump has stirred up feelings of racial animus, he also saw gains, as you know, in this election among Latinos and African Americans. With the second Trump term, do you expect that there will be more or less tolerance for this kind of hate speech?
I think that many people who supported the president-elect did so because they share his rhetoric and ideology, but many other people did not. Many people voted for him for economic reasons because they're frustrated by the economic situation of the country, and they wanted a change from what they were experiencing over the last few years. That is not a mandate to embrace racial hatred or misogyny. And I believe, in fact, that as we move forward with the incoming administration, more and more people are going to reject that rhetoric and call for a change.
All right, already. We're not even anywhere near inaugural day. All right, one other thing. NBC reporting, wow, 68% of self-identified Native Americans, NBC News, voted for Trump. That's the nugget of the day. Why? What is the thing there? They were hoping for disruption, a change in their lives from what has gone on forever. 68% NBC News says. Almost can't believe the number. All right, we got it all in play. At 1 o'clock, we're going to talk with Robin Schaefer, our guy, the whale guy. We got a lot of other stuff to hit with him. What will Trump do on the windmills, et cetera? At 2 o'clock, Harry Hurley, voice of the Jersey Shore. He is someone who worked at a high level with President Trump as a casino executive for one of the Trump casinos. He knows the mind of Trump. He knows that Trump is not just going to let anybody do anything in this cabinet that they feel like. Case in point, RFK Jr. did not want the Trump person that will head up agriculture because agriculture is involved with all the junk foods and all that type of stuff. Trump put somebody else in there. It's believed to kind of be a guardrail here, if you will. So Trump isn't just going to throw the ball out there and let chaos. You know that. But also I want to talk with Harry about the governor's race in New Jersey, which is really hot button already. And post the holidays, it's really going to take off because if Jersey goes red, that will be a boost, an indicator that people are behind what Trump is doing. If it doesn't go red, if they're still able to hold on, it will be something that indicates there's some break here on this. At least that's how it can be built, because I think if it's the right person, Trump's going to be all over this to try to win New Jersey. I favor, as you know, and we'll have him on next week, hopefully. I have no inside knowledge. He hasn't said anything about running. It just occurred to me the other day talking with Matt Rooney, who said, well, if this guy got in, he would clear the field, meaning knock the other ones out. Jeff Van Drew. So I know there's a hurdle or two there, but you can imagine if it's Jeff Van Drew, Trump's going to go down Broadway here. This is going to be bigger, almost as big as a presidential race to win this. And knowing Van Drew as we do, I think he would have a great shot at doing it. The base in South Jersey, the connection to MAGA, and just the all-round ability that he has on the issues and explaining them. Be a heck of a governor. Oh, it would be, this would be a banner year. Make Mulligan's his headquarters. Why not? All right, 855-839-1210. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, you just push pound 1210. Now, today is deal day, Black Friday. So our side question is simply, hit us with that all-time great deal. Now, it can be a deal where both sides gained, or it can be one where one outfoxed the other and really gained, or it can just be a huge deal. For example, Trump wants to buy Greenland. I'm kind of on board with that strategically.
Buy Greenland?
Buy Greenland.
Why?
Well, strategically, take a look at where it is.
That's true.
Yeah. It's in a great spot, and apparently the price might be pretty cheap. I forget how many billion, but it's doable. A great resort. He'll put a Trump resort there, too. Well, Alaska, obviously, was sold. All right, I think it was $7.9 million or thereabouts. That one I get.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with Alaska? But what the heck were the French selling the Louisiana Purchase for? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. That was a steal. Also going to take off the board, all-time deal. If you can buy an NFL team, almost no matter what you have to pay for it, do it. It's the ultimate toy, and I just saw Jeffrey Lurie allegedly might sell minority shares. I think it's 5% to two different groups. The Eagles are valued right now at $8.1 billion. Wow. I think he paid, I'd have to look it up, it was over $100 million. But $8.1 billion. And it wasn't that long ago. It wasn't 100 years or anything.
No, it was in this lifetime.
$8.1 billion, exactly. And the other one, all-time great deals, Hershey. Apparently, E.T. wanted the Mars company to have E.T. eat their product. And Mars, according to this, thought that E.T. was too ugly, didn't want their candy associated with him. But Hershey's jumped into the ring with Reese's Pieces were used in the film instead, product placement.
Yeah. Very famous product placement.
I don't think Reese's Pieces, I don't get the Reese's thing.
You want to say Reese's Pieces so bad.
I don't think Reese's is all that, but it did put them on. Imagine Mars. We're not doing that film. Probably the Bud Light woman was over there at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Her mother or father was running the
father,
show.
right. And then she got in there to do Bud Light. What's yours?
Yeah, so I'll take two, and they're both going to be sports-related here. Simple one, the Eagles getting A.J. Brown for the 18th and 101st picks in the 2022 NFL Draft. I mean, that has worked out phenomenally. He has been one of, if not the best receiver in the NFL. The other one I'm going to take off is for the Sixers. So this has a little bit of twists and turns. The Sixers acquired a first-round pick for Jeremy Grant back in 2016. Then the Sixers traded that pick to the Magic for the 25th pick in the 2017 draft, which they took Anzejs Pasnakis, a guy who never made it to the NBA. That's a bad deal. But then it keeps going. The Thunder got that pick back in 2019 when the Sixers traded Markelle Fultz to the Magic. And what happened is that because they got that, and they also got Mike Muscala in that deal. Mike Muscala was a player for the Sixers, traded him at the deadline to the Thunder for, a conditional first-rounder. In the bubble that year, because it was 2020, he hit a big shot in a meaningless final regular season game to push the Thunder to the 21st pick, which is good for the Sixers because if the picks were between 1 and 20, they wouldn't have got the pick. It would have stayed with the Thunder, but because it fell to 21st, the Sixers kept it, and with that pick, the Sixers took Tyrese Maxey, who has become a complete star.
Yeah,
so
one of the best post-20 picks in the NBA.
Yeah, so when that deal originally went down, it looked terrible. Looked like we got completely fleeced. We got a guy who never played, and then it ended up being we got an all-star.
All right, so that's the side question today. Then we'll put them all into the hat before we leave for the week, at around 250 or so, 245. And pull it out. Letters to Trump is the prize this week. The book is unbelievable. And we'll have Dom's Money Melody, too, of course. Now, here's how you get in on all that. 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. Just push pound 1210. This should be a no-brainer. I think with enough people talking about this and with my doing some behind the scenes with some people, there's a good shot to have Scott Presler get that civilian honor from the president. That would be it. The media would, oh, my God. I don't know if he wear a tuxedo or what. What he had on the other day it's like a designer was with him. I have not seen anything. This long coat thing that he had, it was pretty remarkable. 855-839-1210. Jump on board now and Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Insults that are used towards bald people, some of which I've never heard and some I absolutely love, including coconut bounce, eggshell, cue ball, light bulb, and slaphead. I love slaphead.
Yeah.
Slaphead is a totally underrated word in this country.
That's what I'm going to start calling the show.
Slaphead and Company.
Or Caillou.
Cue ball and co. That's what we should call this show.
Oh, yeah.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
And so many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, it's Rich. Zeoli, winter is coming. Water will freeze and thaw around your property and into your foundation, and that's when the worst damage will happen. I used to worry about water, but then Garden State Earthworks solved my water problem for good. When we had our wet basement, it was caused by excess outside stagnant water. We called Garden State Earthworks. They assessed and drained the water away once and for all. Call the guy I trust, Lou Vargo at Garden State Earthworks, 856-848-4444 or GardenStateEarthworks.com.
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dom Giordano program. Democrats, I have to tell you, seriously seem to be thinking that AOC should throw her hat into the ring in 2028. Now, I look at things through the eyes of talk radio. Oh, my goodness. That would be enormous. But is she, who would be a better candidate? In all seriousness, Kamala Harris or AOC? I'd say AOC.
100%.
Particularly with a little bit more seasoning. She says some goofy stuff economically, et cetera, but she can spark a crowd. She's, I wouldn't call her hateful, not like the other members of the squad, the JV squad or whatever. And Kamala Harris is beyond a rank incompetent. Say, let's get AOC into the ring out there, debating Josh Shapiro and Newsom, mussing up his hair a little bit. She'll be eligible at that point. I don't know what age she is. She strikes me she's 32 or 33 at this point. So it's being talked about. Now,
AOC could get on the ballot right now. She's 35.
Oh, she is 35?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought she was a bit younger. She's been around a while. So she's never run in a race where she had an uphill. She had to beat the third-ranking member of Congress, but it's a guy who had been in New York Conway, I think it was, forever. Things had changed demographically, and she had a social media presence that was second to none, and she'll do that again. Yeah, let's get AOC into that. Let's get her in there. Let's see what that does with Democrats. Oh, my God. All right, so 855-839-1210. Harris, though, I think this is John Morgan, who I was surprised. Yes, that John Morgan. Morgan & Morgan has been out there sabotaging Harris and talking about how she should never run for president again. The big insurance guy, here's what he said, because Harris is apparently going to run again. Cut 7.
Privately, the vice president has been instructing advisors and allies to keep her options open, whether for a possible 2028 presidential run or even to run as governor in the state of California in 2 years. As Harris has repeated in phone calls, I am staying in the fight. Your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction is, she thinks she's Obama. She goes to Hawaii because Obama goes to Hawaii. She started talking like Obama, imitating Obama. She is not Barack Obama. She has no talent. She can never run for president again. She ran once and got 0 delegates. She got 8% of California. I begged them not to put her up. She was going to be tethered to Biden no matter what. That was a zero-sum game for her. But she thought that all these votes were for her. They were not. The votes that she got were people voting against Trump, and the votes that Trump got were the people voting for Trump. What the Harris campaign should have done, instead of avoiding Joe Rogan and podcasts, it turns out that Barron Trump, who looks like a runway model, was telling his father, you need to go on podcasts, you need to go on Joe Rogan.
Okay, well, let's stop it here, Henry, a little bit.
He was,
look, it's easy to say, well, why didn't she do Joe Rogan? Face the facts. She can't do Joe Rogan. She can't do it. I mean, we saw that with Lester Holt and NBC News. She went off into a tizzy just because he said, but you didn't go. We've been to the border. We've been to the border. And I haven't been to Europe either. She can't do it. So stop like these. Democrats keep on saying these errors of messaging or whatever. So what they want to do is they want to camouflage better. They can't win on the transgender. Here's a case in point. Boise State now has forfeited to San Jose State in the women's volleyball. Here's why it's different than what we've been talking about. This is not a regular season game. This is their conference playoffs, if you will. And I'm hoping that something like this happens, that San Jose State has team after team saying, no, we're not going to play you. Is the NCAA actually going to crown them as women's volleyball champions? Meaning, and apparently this sport has taken off a bit. It's on ESPN a lot anyhow.
Yeah.
Meaning that they would be the national champion. Are we really going to go that far? And if so, I think more people will pay attention to what's happening here. These women are not like the Leah Thomas thing. They're saying, no, we're not going to play you. Yeah, but don't you understand? This isn't regular season. You can get past that. They could go all the way to the championship. Now, I don't know the posture of who they'll play. That's in the weeds. All that I know is they're close to winning their conference, which gets a playoff berth in the NCAA tournament, simply because these women are standing strong. So the woman who still writes for USA Today, Nancy Armour, I've had her on in the shows over the years. Oh, my God. She says the women that are who's discriminatory in a column are the players who will not play the team that has a male on it. They're the ones discriminating. This stuff is not going to fly. Again, got to be careful. The last election didn't say Americans are saying, say whatever you want about someone who's transgender and all these. They didn't say that. But what they did say is in the playing field that we're talking about, that you saw play out in the commercial, the they-them commercial, or the commercials around boys or men in women's sports, we're with you. 85% or more moves the needle. We don't want this. We're tired of this type of nonsense. So if skillfully done in the right areas, and this is definitely one of them, it's a winner. It's the right thing to do, the politically right thing to do. And deep down, I don't want to see these people get to be the winner in this category. But if it gets to the championship game or something like that, I don't know what I would advise the other team. You can't let them take the national title. But on the other hand, So I think the optimal would be that it gets to the national title game because people will be talking about it. And I think there'll be a big betting thing.
I bet they won't make it that far.
And then what would happen is there would be widespread interest, and people that don't pay attention to most things would go, wow, take a look at this. The number of kills this biological male apparently has, et cetera, and then to beat them in the final. That would be almost Hollywood-esque. Now, whether some other team will play them at this point, I didn't look. How many rungs, how many games? It's not that many left before they would get really on the national radar screen. But imagine the sports columnists calling them the discriminators. Why are they trying to stop opportunity for a trans woman? There's that phrase again, right? Well, they are because they learned the lessons of Leah Thomas. You are not going to tell these women that they have to put up with this. We're past that now. At least in most instances, we are. The Central Bucks School District hasn't gotten the memo on that. But if we see some male playing on the female team and all that starts to happen, they will get that memo. All right, phone lines. Get in on the side question, too. 855-839-1210. Give us that all-time deal. Try to take one. It's a little bit creative, a little bit outside the box. We don't want to take everything off, but if you go with the obvious ones, as you know, that's usually not the winner unless it's just so overwhelming. Hit us with one. That was a deal. Maybe one side really benefited, or even more, this would be tough. Both sides benefited tremendously. Hit us with that. 855-839-1210.
You're driving along when you realize...
Oh, I've got to get over. Oh my gosh, sorry.
You didn't see him, did you? He was in your blind spot. You can also have a blind spot when it comes to your retirement. That's where Joe Yakovich of JML Financial Group comes in. He knows about a little blind spot called taxes. Social Security, your pension, your investments, all can be taxable. Look, you don't want to end up saying,
will I be writing huge checks to the government when I retire?
Don't get blindsided by taxes. Make sure your retirement plan has a tax plan. With one call to JML Financial Group, 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company. JML Financial Group does not offer legal or tax advice. Please consult the appropriate professional regarding your individual circumstance.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Drier conditions return to the forecast this afternoon as a cold front moves through. It will turn breezy with a high around 54. Behind the cold front, a cold air mass moves in tonight, partly cloudy with a low 36. And for Friday, partly sunny, breezy and cold with a high 47.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured? The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in at 855-839-1210. Don't forget the side question. As I said, though, this stuff around transgender in sports is not the same as when Leah Thomas was here. And we don't have to say how despicable they are, how shameful on a daily basis the University of Penn is. They just are, right? Their attitude with the anti-Semitic attacks that went on there, but their attitude of bludgeoning or trying to bludgeon people like Scanlon that we have on and other female swimmers at Penn for Leah Thomas. Well, we've seen over the course of a couple of years, though, now these women are bold. And apparently there's a game today, and then the winner sometime soon will play San Jose State. Will they play them? I get it. It's the NCAA tournament. These women want to be. I get it.
Championship would be tomorrow at 2 p.m.
All right, tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Pacific time.
I'd rather see this play out, though, for a while, because the longer it goes on, the more people are going to recognize, and there's going to be more pressure, hopefully, brought to bear to say, that's it. One of these governing bodies, these colleges, et cetera, some judge, something has to step in and say, that's it. You're not going to do this. It is so much different than what happened. And remember what it was like. They were told, you do this, the mob. I don't know if the mob is coming after the assistant coach on the team that started this boycott, or the women on that, or the women on several of these teams. But the colleges are not really going after them. They don't seem to be able to bludgeon them. The numbers are much stronger. And post-election, you got to hope they're stronger. And I still maintain this is the low-hanging fruit. Very few people are going to say, yes, I think a male ought to be in there beating up on females, taking away their right to compete and succeed. Very few people are that crazy. Democrats can say all that they want. America's not going to go for this. Now, as far as Trump banning transgenders in the military on day one by executive order, I think that's going to be supported also. But nothing as much as saying, why did we work for women's sports? Why did we get to this point? And then you're going to come along and just trash all that and say, what's the big deal here? Why are you making such a big deal? What do you mean, why are we making such a big deal about this? Women have worked at that for 35 or 40 years. And again, the example I come up with, you put a pretty good player or two or three into the WNBA. Let's see if those women will shut up then. When somebody goes off for 75, 80, 100 points against them, routinely. I think they think in their minds, no, you could bring somebody, let's say somebody who's played in the NBA, maybe they're a little bit older now, they're not as good. They go in there, they're going to score. It's obvious. They're not going to be able to stop them. It's stupid even to engage in this. I think you could take a championship high school team, big enough state, and compete with the WNBA or beat them. I bet they would beat them. So why in the world then stand with any of this? Just speak out. All we need is Serena Williams or somebody like that finally to give it up and say, yeah, this is ridiculous. Serena Williams, as good as she was in her prime, she's not playing against the top men. She wouldn't be, it's the speed all of a sudden would be on. She wouldn't be able to cope with what she usually sees a ball coming at her. And just the pressure, you can't even talk about it. All right, let's go to Susan in Chester Springs. Susan, you're on with Dom on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Susan.
Hey, good morning, Dom. Well, I had something different. I mean, I just think that men that can't make it in their own sport go try to beat women. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we interviewed, if you remember, that young woman who's the daughter of Hall of Fame pitcher Lee Smith, and she is an Olympic hopeful. She's right on the cusp when she was in high school. Guys that were ranked 27 and 28 in the state of Ohio killed her in the 100 and 220, and they told her she'll have to train harder. I mean, my goodness.
Well, and the media is complicit in all of this. They're not honest about it. I just had an Emmy-winning producer. He did Good Morning America years ago, and he was telling me, first I thought when he said he was a reporter, I'm like, oh my God, I've got a liberal in here.
Yeah.
So I was careful, but he said that investigative journalism, which is what he was, is down the tubes. There isn't any anymore. And he was just very upset about the way things have gone. I mean, he said, nobody reports. Did you know there were 17,000 Christians held hostage and most of them killed during the civil war in Lebanon? No, I didn't know that. I mean, the things he came up with, nothing is being reported, honestly.
Yeah, or if it is, it's a slight mention, so they check the box, but the point of emphasis is on something that's ideologically driven. That's what the game is.
So my answer to the side question is Manhattan deal. And everybody says, well, the Indians didn't make out. Well, eventually they didn't because they were thrown off their land. But at the time, it opened up trade with the Dutch. So they actually did well as a result of it.
All right,
so that was my deal.
That's a nice add to it. Yeah, they both benefited by at least for a period of time. Okay, that can happen. But the ones that make the most news are the ones that are you kidding me? Just look at this, particularly in the world of sports. You know, I remember when the Phillies got Steve Carlton, and there were people saying, we're trading Rick Wise. He just pitched a no-hitter, hit 2 home runs in the game and all that. And Carlton had been up and down at that point to his career, one of the all-time greats then. Although a survivalist today, if you will, apparently. All right, phone lines. Get in on the side question, 855-839-1210. You can get in. As I said, tomorrow would be the championship game. And will they play? Some people think they will. Or will they forfeit? And then San Jose State goes off to the NCAA tournament. This is a much different thing. They didn't have that option with Leah Thomas. You had to compete against Leah Thomas, and that was it. And Penn was proud of it, setting records and all that domination. Penn never had a swim team like this. That was not that many years ago. I'd have to look it up, whether it was 3 or something like that. And Riley Gaines out of this. I mean, you talk about somebody that was made for this. It's Riley Gaines. And then she gets Paula Scanlon, who was not that type of personality, but now she's out there all over the place. And there are many, many more women. When is a prominent, really prominent female athlete, or a bunch of them come together and say, that's it. Stop kidding yourself. Why are we continuing to do this? That's where the low-hanging fruit. Now, Harris helped by saying, let's give sex change operations with taxpayer money to people here illegally who are criminals that are in jail. You just can't put enough stuff in there that's out of line. But people resent this. We're not going to be told it's only a handful. It's spreading. There have been thousands of medals lost or diminished to young women of one sort or another by this happening. We don't hear about all of it constantly, just the more prominent places. And Democrats can make it go away. Take the issue away. Just say, hey, this isn't right. Nope, you're out. That's all they have to do. Why can't they do it? Because the mob that's at their base, this is just similar to the Hamas thing. Same thing. They can make it go away, but they really can't. They can't because they'll be inundated. Well, one other thing, too. Now we see 3 Democrats. For some reason, they're from Connecticut, who have had bomb threats, too. Democrats. You know my point on this? If the FBI, if they need more resources, any of these people making these threats, now a lot of it is against Trump nominees. I want the fullest investigation. I want to hunt them down. I want them tried quickly. I want them to get the maximum sentence. I want them to be plastered all over the place. We have to come together and say, if you're doing this swatting stuff, threatening bomb scares, threatening to kill their kids, this is our mission. You are going to be hunted down no matter what it takes. Instead, it seems to me we hear these stories and we see few, if ever, that are caught, prosecuted, and sent to jail. This is a national problem. You have people routinely. Now, I'm not sure if they're clever. They do it in a manner. I don't believe that. I just believe that we let this go on without enough of a priority to say, you do that. No, look, I had experienced nothing quite like that. I've told the story. Was a guy here locally, didn't like something I said, et cetera. And, it wasn't that direct till he mentioned Roe and Luke, I think it was. That was it. Thank God we had the VIP squad from the police. They visited him, told him what was going to happen, et cetera. That's what has to happen. Now, if it's a direct threat, then you kick in the door, you take him out. And he's got to be prosecuted. Fullest extent of the law. I want to see some of these people actually prosecuted. The ones going after the Democrats, I don't care. The ones going after the Trump nominees, bring them in. For once, it's worth the resources to send a message. You're not going to get away with it. Yeah, but some of these people, Dom, are just crazy. I don't care if they're crazy or what they are. I want them caught. And I think most Americans look past party lines. Say, yeah, I don't care who they're threatening. We're not that type of country. You're not going to get away with this stuff. It's not freedom of speech. This is clearly against the law. All right, phone lines, 855-839-1210. That's how you'll get on board right now. Hit us on the side question, too. Hey, cap off the NFL week with a chance to win on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers, you get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins on tonight's game. You can bet Monday night football matchup. You can bet anytime touchdown, over rushing yards, over passing. All you have to do is just visit FanDuel.com/Dom. Tons of parlays that you can create that are really simple. You don't have to be an expert is what I'm saying. Now, FanDuel is the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Nick Cale, and we will be honoring Brad Adams, a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, for our Veteran Spotlight in December. Each month, we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. Be here Wednesday morning, December 4th for our Veteran Spotlight, presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Looking for that unique gift or hard-to-find collectible? Look no further than Nicholas Smith Trains and Toys. Nicholas Smith has over 60,000 items for you to shop at both nicholassmithtrains.com and nicholassmithtoys.com. But come into the store on Westchester Pike Broomall and get lost in old and new technology. Pretend play, RC and slot cars, Western play, Madame Alexander dolls, mechanical robots, superhero action figures, Playmobil, Lego, Disney, and much, much more. Right off the Blue Route, visit Nicholas Smith Trains and Toys this holiday or any day.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie, your radio doctor. Every Saturday afternoon at 5, I talk with doctors and medical specialists from around the country to discuss the latest information about heart disease, cancer prevention, topics in women's health, pediatrics, mental health, and more. Then you can make better decisions for yourself and your loved ones. Your radio doctor, Saturdays at 5, here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, because your health is your wealth.
Wawa's hot turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because hot turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Attention Medicaid patients.
If you're on Medicaid, how would you like if your caretaker was your daughter, your son, your grandchild, or your close friend? If you're on Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care, and that caregiver will get paid instantly after their shift. Yes, your caregiver will get paid instantly, and it's 100% free to you if you are on Medicaid. Call 267-692-3782 and ask Freedom Care how to get started with care today. No more worrying about getting care from an aide at an agency. Freedom Care helps you choose who you want to take care of you, and that person gets paid. Call Freedom Care at 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782 to get started today. You get a caregiver you know and trust, and they get paid instantly after their shift, and it's free to you. Start now by calling 267-692-3782, 267-692-3782, or go to freedomcare.com.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, it is Dom time. Coming up, Robin Schaefer, Protect Our Shores over in New Jersey. A lot to talk about with him, not just the whales and what Trump will do. And also, we're going to talk with Harry Hurley, great radio host in, really Atlantic City, voice of the Jersey Shore. He worked with President Trump for years. And what does he think in the governor's race? He's one of the powers there about how this will go down. All right, let's go to Robert in Ben Salem. Hey, Robert, happy Black Friday.
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys today, and I'll keep it together here, Dom. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday, and I'm going to go a little off track with my answer to the side question.
Okay.
My answer is Jack and the Beanstalk. Now, a lot of people don't know that he made 3 trips up the Beanstalk. So in exchange for this cow, he got a bag of gold, a goose that lays golden eggs, and a magic harp. The magic harp, and a lot of people don't know that he made 3 trips. Also, the giant's wife fed him and lied to the giant that the little boy wasn't up there all 3 times when the giant said, "Fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of an Englishman, and be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." The 3rd time when he was chasing him down, Jack was able to cut down the beanstalk and kill the giant. But if you're looking at a sack of gold and a goose that lays golden eggs and a magic harp, that's a pretty good deal for a cow.
I think so. Beautifully done. All right, that is outside the box extraordinary. That's what we expect here from Robert, all right? Don't be intimidated by it. It's a really good one, though. All right, we'll have the winner today and then put them all into the hat right before the end of the show and have the grand prize of the week. Coming up, Robin Schaefer, Protect Our Coast. Wait a minute, is it Protect Our Shore? How many of you put it up there?
I'll have it.
Yeah, I forget which one it is. But Robin, wanted to talk with him about several things. One, right before the election, I think it was only a couple days before, I got to speak to this group in downtown Philadelphia from Sweden, Finland, Denmark, and the like. and they like Trump. It was an interesting, by and large. That should have been kind of an indicator. And also, we know how much Trump hates the windmills, just the sight of the windmill, right? Does that mean we are home free? We're starting to see, I think one was in New York, another one of those companies give it up. And if that's the case, let's take a moment today while he's here. If this looks like is what is going to happen, to say, wow, did we think this would happen? Did we think we'd be able to stop them? Remember how, and some are still operating, some are still going forward. Can the federal government actually now stop this nonsense? I think so. That's all straight ahead, and your calls on Talk Radio 1210.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
I want Jason to reveal his politics. I want to know if him and his brother are Republican or Democrat.
Well, his brother is not.
Here's my theory.
Yeah.
Once that relationship with Paytay ends, he now knows the NFL is totally fine with people doing the Trump dance. Once he ditches Taylor Swift, he's going to score a touchdown in a big game. He's going to do the Trump boogie in the end zone. We're going to see. No. He was just taking the check from Bud Light and Pharma.
You've watched too much wrestling from the 90s. He's not doing a heel turn.
Plot twist.
No.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
There are so many terrifying political and economic trends tearing down the global economy. But your retirement does not have to collapse with it. The exclusive crash-proof retirement system guarantees over 5,000 consumers not only survive, but thrive despite market volatility, guaranteeing protected growth that cannot be taken away.
My name is Robert Sims. I live in Levittown, Pennsylvania. The interest credited to my crash-proof retirement system can never be taken from me. With all the debt that the nation has, I am leery of where the economy is going to head long term. I feel good about where I sit with the crash-proof retirement system, regardless of where the economy goes in the next 5 years or so, because it has delivered on its promises.
Schedule an appointment to crash-proof your retirement future by calling 1-800-722-9728 or visit crashproofretirement.com.
Don't miss the Education Show with Dom Giordano every Sunday morning at 5:30. Find out how you can help your child or grandchild succeed. Sponsored by New Hope Academy. At PGW, safety is essential to delivering clean, reliable natural gas to Philadelphia homes and businesses. If you smell gas, call PGW at 215-235-1212.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
Okay, it is Dom time. It's been a while since we spoke with one of our favorites because it's at least 2 years that this has been front and center with listeners. Will President Trump solve it? Maybe not as easy as we think it can be done. There still may be a war of attrition. And I always like that, wearing the enemy down on the other side. And that's what people have done who have supported Protect Our Coast, New Jersey, and others who have held off big wind. And I don't mean Phil Murphy, but a whole conglomerate of big wind. But they're still out there. And if that happens, you remember the moment you started to pay attention. I mean, there's so many issues out there. What did it? Well, what did it? The whales washing up, the dolphins, seeing who the players were on the other side. And then once people saw that emotionally, and it was emotional, they started to drill down on our birthright. And there's nothing wrong with this. Going to the Jersey Shore, having to look at these ghastly structures forever, because once they're in there, that's it. Then we saw off Nantucket, that's more recent. What happened when some of this stuff got disabled or broken off? Oh, my God. Just the thought of it. And who are the people on the other side again? What are they pushing? See, it's not just that they do this. It's too pat to say they're just doing it to make a big buck. Got to get out of this. Phil Murphy's game here was to get a gold star. He has national aspirations. He still does. He and the wifey. And you get the gold star by going with this god-awful stuff. The upside, this personally offends President Trump's sense of how the world should look. The windmills I'm talking about. It offends a lot of people, apparently. All right, so let's go to Robin Shaper. Protect Our Coast NJ is where he hangs out on Talk Radio 1210. Robin, welcome back.
Hey, Dom. Happy Thanksgiving. So glad to be back on with you. And what a wonderful Thanksgiving this year was.
Absolutely.
So much to be grateful for. I was grateful for all that you've done to put this issue out there front and center and to amplify it for the people who care deeply, like you said, care deeply about the Jersey Shore, which is their happy place, and it's my happy place too. So it affects millions of people, their memories, and it was just such an affront to think that Phil Murphy's vanity project was really so close to happening. You know, last time we talked wasn't on the radio, but we were talking to a bunch of Norwegians.
Yes,
and if you remember that, and they the election result looked a little iffy. I mean, I remember you said you thought it would come down to Pennsylvania, but you thought that Trump would pull it out. Well, he sure did, and we couldn't have a better champion than Donald Trump and our Congressman Jeff Van Drew on this issue, because they understand it back, every which way, that this is it's unaffordable, it's unreliable. I'll tell you one thing. There's a word that I didn't know until recently, but it's called Dunkelflaut, and it sounds like something that a word that sounds made up, or some the Amish use it or something like that. But what it means is it's the doldrums in the weather where there's no wind, and they've just suffered through a couple of weeks of that over in the UK and in some of these countries bordering the North Sea, where they have hundreds of these wind turbines out in the ocean, and they're not couldn't turn because there's no wind. And if it weren't for nuclear backup and oil and gas backup, those people over there would have been sent back to the Dark Ages.
Yeah, exactly right. So, Robin, I guess the question, and you've been calm on this, not overly celebrating, is it done then? At least the ones that we know of around here, is it on a case-by-case basis? Meaning, can Trump pretty much through the federal government stop this?
I want to be cautious about taking a victory lap here, because there are still projects out there that have federal permits in place, such as the Atlantic Shores project from Atlantic City up to Long Beach Island. Those projects do have state approvals and federal approvals to go forward. The question is, how much money can be taken away from those projects at the federal level? And can the feds and can Donald Trump put executive orders into place that require those projects to jump over massive hurdles and give them really wrap them with a bunch of red tape. And I'm pretty confident that that can happen, but I'm not taking it to the bank yet. We still have active lawsuits that pertain to Atlantic Shores, and it pertain to other projects that they've approved. The New Jersey Board of Public Utilities has approved. We did hear some very good news just day before Thanksgiving. Total Energy of this big oil and gas company in France is pulling out of Attentive 1, which is south of Long Island in New York. And they've been approved for another project in New Jersey, Attentive Energy 2, and we think it's just another domino that's about to fall. They're probably waiting for January 20th, like a lot of us are, to see what happens before they make an announcement on that. But that was the first project. The CEO of Total said they really blamed the Trump victory in the election and said they're going to play a waiting game, put that project in New York on hold for 4 years.
Wow.
I guess they think they're going to be able to put it back on track in 4 years. But we're going to be waiting for them if that happens. We've been there from the start. We're relentless. We've have tremendous support, and I don't think they. I think they're barking up the wrong tree if they think that they're going to wait out the next 4 years and expect things to be better, like the political landscape is going to be better in 4 years. Because what I am, looking forward to is, a return to common sense, a return to a country that is patriotic and is really operating on all cylinders. So there's no reason to expect that in 4 years a Democrat's going to go back to the White House.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's bring it to New Jersey. And my dream world, this would be something interesting. In the governor's race, the Democrats would have to then throw overboard part of their base, whoever their nominee for governor would be, if they would say, nope, we're not engaged, we're not interested in this, yada, yada, yada. I don't know each of the Republican candidates. I'm kind of not satisfied, but you're in this, at ground zero. I don't think they're making enough of this even right now as an ongoing issue. And to illustrate, take it away from just this, of how all these ghastly progressive ideas can be defeated. How do you emotionally get people involved? And once you do, then hit them with all the information you can. Fight every second in the court and continue to fight even after the bell is rung, to the end. You can do this with every issue like parental rights, etc. That's an emotional issue. Tap into this. I'm not hearing that yet. What do you think?
Well, I agree. I mean, this is a time to really put an end to these failed legacy projects and like vanity projects and these really bad ideas. I mean, we're going back to think back to the COVID mandates and how ridiculous that was, and that was just government overreach to the nth degree. And now we're going to see a pullback, I think. And then at the federal level, and hopefully it'll trickle down if we get a governor in there next year who believes in that this is this is a movement. There is momentum, and there's no reason to believe that New Jersey, which used to be deep blue, but it's now purple, there's no reason why we can't elect somebody who, isn't a Republican who's afraid to speak up on things like parental rights and speak out against offshore wind and things like that. And, with like Scott Pressler has vowed to come into New Jersey and register voters. And I'm going to be there working with him, because I'm really happy to hear that New Jersey we could hire a governor that actually cares about the people that live in New Jersey.
Does your group, as a nonprofit, do you endorse personally?
we don't endorse, but we do come out and educate the public on the position of candidates on the issues that we care about, like the environment, coastal development, things like that.
Educate us then. Let's take some on the Democrat side we don't care about for now because we know the best they're going to do is camouflage. I just want to stop the head of the NJEA. That's priority number one. But
me too.
Yeah, you have two prime suspect people on the Republican side, Spadea and Jack Ciattarella. So how have these people been on this?
So Jack has been to several of our events. He has spoken out recently, put out video statements, and been all over social media about this issue, about how he's against offshore wind development. He's been there's no equivocating. I mean, he and Trump are in lockstep on this issue. I believe both Bill Spadea and Ed Durr. Ed Durr has come to our events too, and he's against it, and he's running on the Republican side as well. Bill Spadea has spoken out against offshore wind as well, and the silence on the Democratic side will speak volumes, just like it did with the Senate race that just concluded. Andy Kim didn't say anything about offshore wind because he was afraid to take that on. He knows how unpopular that issue is to all constituents. You know, it doesn't matter. Exactly. It's not a partisan issue. But like you said, I don't understand how somebody like Sean Spiller has all these ads on TV already. I mean, I can't believe that the New Jersey teachers are willing to put up with having all their dues go towards this failed gubernatorial run. Everybody I speak to thinks that he doesn't stand a chance on the Democratic side. So it just seems like talk about vanity project. This is all about Sean Spiller, getting his name out there. So
yeah, exactly. Robin, tell us where to go for Protect Our Coast NJ, because there's still going to be a lot of stuff, as you said. I'm in your camp. No victory lap yet, but textbook on how to do this so far and continue with it. So where do people go?
They can go and they can visit us at protectourcoastnj.com. And, they can look at our website. We're on social media, on X. We're on Facebook, Instagram. And we just, every little bit matters to us. People want to contribute either volunteer hours or contribute some small sum. Everything is going towards the work that we're doing to fight this Goliath. Let's be frank. I mean, we've been the little David for a long time, but now we have somebody. We have people in high places now that are championing our cause. So really, it's a great time to be a New Jerseyan and an American, quite frankly.
Absolutely. Robin, we'll catch up soon. Thank you. Thanks for the Norwegians, too. That was a lot of fun.
That was great. All right. Well, nice to talk to you, and talk to you soon.
Robin Schaefer here on Talk Radio 1210. Coming up, your calls, and also an honor for Christopher Fitzgerald. Remember Officer Fitzgerald? Big honor, but the person who did part of the shepherding of this, something else he could do that would be more meaningful, and I don't think he would ever do. I'll tell you what that is, and your calls. Here's how you get in at 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. All that you have to do is just push pound 1210.
Your weeknights are getting a whole lot better. With Jimmy Fallon, 7 to 10 p.m.
Back when I was a cab driver, trying to make my way in comedy and find some entree into television and radio and everything in between, I was writing articles, mocking sports culture and cancel culture and things like that. And they had booked me an interview on WPHT. They were the very first radio station to ever book me as a guest. We had a lot of laughs. So to be sitting here, 8 or 9 years later as a host in your lineup is obviously a really big deal to me personally.
Jimmy Fallon, now weeknights, 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. radio listeners can enjoy reliving their meaningful memories for an insane 65% off.
Legacy Box is the best gift for you or a family member. And during our Black Friday event, there's never been a better time to preserve your past. Legacy Box start at only $27, with savings of over $400 when you digitize your whole collection.
Legacy Box is simple and safe. We digitize everything by hand here in the USA. You'll get your originals back, plus digital copies that protect your tapes, film reels, and photos from floods, mold, even the decay of time.
Make the holidays special and shop our best deal of the year. Visit LegacyBox.com to shop our Black Friday event and take an unreal 65% off. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Buy your Legacy Box today and send in when you're ready. That's LegacyBox.com/value to take 65% off. LegacyBox.com/value.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Online shopping has eaten into Black Friday doorbuster deals, but Target's exclusive Taylor Swift Eras Tour book is among the perks of shopping in person. Pop-up bar Tinsel in Midtown Village is back open with over-the-top festive decorations and drinks, and Villanova football returns to the FCS playoffs, hosting Eastern Kentucky tomorrow.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio, now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Hey, this is Jimmy Fallon in the house, and dig this, folks. This is not a drill. It's the real thing. You can now join me weeknights from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT or anywhere on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano Show, 855-839-1210. You get on board. So you can't find a more compelling story, a more horrific story than the Fitzgerald family. You've heard the mom and dad. You've heard Officer Christopher Fitzgerald, Sergeant Fitzgerald's now wife. He was killed February 18, 2023, responding to a robbery, 17th in Montgomery. Miles Pfeiffer, then 18 years of age, scuffled with Fitzgerald before shooting him several times and then standing over him and executing him. Well, this week, the last couple days, thanks to several, even Democrats in town, but one that I want to vilify here, a post office in Northeast Philadelphia, the Bustleton section, will soon have a new name in honor of the Chris Fitzgerald Postal Office, okay? That's all good. The person who got it through the House, though, is abutting on the Democrat side, House Speaker someday, Mr. Northeast Philadelphia. By the way, the building is just south of Red Lion Shops at Red Lion Shopping Center. And that would be Congressman Brendan Boyle. So the issue is this. It's fine to name a post office after Chris Fitzgerald. When has Brendan Boyle ever said word one about Larry Krasner and the policies in Philadelphia and the nonsense, including Krasner would not even meet with the family and tell them why he wouldn't go for the death penalty in this case? Now, we have everything in the world here that screams death penalty under current laws. You know that. It's all in tape. It's all video. We got countless. There's no doubt about it. And yet, he doesn't even have the dignity and the nerve to talk to the family and tell them why he arrived at a decision not to do that. I'm not even sure he'll go for life imprisonment without parole, whatever that means. Probably a joke, those terms anyhow. So, Brendan, the post office, all nice. What people in Northeast Philadelphia need and what people need across the city, across the country, is what the last election was about. We're tired of gestures like this. We want criminals to be taken out. We want them to be arrested and or executed if the crime is first-degree murder. It's pretty clear. The post office, I'm sure the family will recognize that, but they want justice. Good for them. Not going to be pushed around by people saying, well, that won't bring your son or husband back. You tell that to the family. Or tell it to me. You're a joke. Stop it already. The only thing that stops us, we know the blueprint of what stops us. This guy has been out of control for a long time, came to Temple thinking it was a game, and he point blank executed him. What more do you need? If that's not a death penalty case, then why have the death penalty? And that's exactly what they want to do. Just completely make it meaningless so that someday we'll go, oh, what the heck, why do we even have it? Josh Shapiro, part of this. So a post office and name on it is a great honor. That's good. But how about while you're doing that, speak out on this. Tell people what you think about this. And just don't speak in vague, general, the crime, and all. Where does that come from? Well, what are the elements that provoke this? All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. That's how you get on board. You heard Robin Schaefer. I think Trump will do some good work here. Not completely over yet. Still lurking out there. But a textbook on how to beat them. How do we replicate that on other issues? Just like I've told you during the campaign, I thought the transgender issue, I wrote about that 10 days before the election, was the sleeper issue. And it was executed perfectly. Harris is for they, them. I'm for you. Men and women's sports. It was executed perfectly. Let's go to Dave in Oak Lynn. And Dave is next in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Dave, welcome in.
Hey, Dom, how are you?
Good.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
All right. So Henry Ford in 1914 had a 300% turnover rate in his factories.
Mm-hmm.
So, so he'd get better production. He cut workers' hours from 9 hours to 8 hours, doubled their salaries, spent $10 million annually on help improve the workers' lives, reduced the car prices so they could afford them and buy them.
Right.
And his turnover rate dropped to under 20%. And Ford became very successful.
Sure, that's a great deal. It's a win-win, both sides.
Yes.
Good one. Thank you, Dave. We'll put you down for that. By the way, one of the funniest of The Office is when they're going over, when you have a conflict in the office, Michael Scott, a couple of other people, win, 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 lose, lose, that whole thing. And his solutions to be win-win. Henry Ford, that is a win-win, though. That is a really good one. So the Fitzgeralds are still out there. This is still ongoing. I'm not sure when Miles Pfeiffer actually gets his trial and what will happen there. But why have the death penalty? Why tell us you want to protect us? Why be a fraud like Josh Shapiro, run and not say anything about it, then suddenly when he becomes governor, he's against the death penalty? But to the point on Shapiro, reading an article today, who are the contenders moving forward to 2028? He's in the top three, and they call him this wildly popular governor in Pennsylvania. How in the world is he wildly popular? Based on what? I mean, what is it that he did a nice job over 95. That was creative, and putting in the camera, putting in every day, seeing them hustle on that. Yeah, that was good, without a doubt. But what has this guy done? What has he delivered on that he ran on, or anything else that really sticks out to people? He's a camouflager. He is solidly in lockstep with the most radical stuff with Democrats. He just puts a better face on it. He's clever. That's why this election in 2016 is so big. You either have to beat him or ding him up a bit in his reputation, expose it, That's why we have to get the right candidate for that also. All right, so 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all that you need to do is just push pound 1210. I want to play you a little bit. You may have missed it. This was on Wednesday. This is Cut 4 coming up. Here is Representative Joe Hogan. Now, look, I can't bring articles of impeachment against Dianne Marceglia, but it's an obvious thing to me. So we had him on because his name was in the Inquirer report on this, and he said no. Listen to his reasoning. I reject it. I've been given the names of two other people who I'm told pretty reliably might be open to be the ones starting to do that. What's the loss if they bring articles of impeachment against Dianne Marceglia, and Democrats block it and won't even bring it up for a vote? Then you keep on talking about it. You still have the issue. Well, that will just make her a victim. In what universe is she a victim? Here's the back and forth with Representative Joe Hogan. What would the damage be, though, if you went forward with this? What would the damage politically be?
I think it's not so much about damage, but it's about strategy. Why would we want to have? She's been claiming she's a victim in a lot of her statements already in different ways. The party has basically taken that position as well when they're talking about this incident. So why give them a rallying post? Why give them something that they can?
Well, it's a rallying post for Joe. It's a rallying post for you too. We can't be cowed by her saying she's a victim.
Oh, I'm not cowed. I've been talking to everybody about this, and I've been pushing it on Twitter. I've been talking to people. I'm coming on here now. I want the voters of Bucks County to know about these comments. I want them to know that Bob Harvey led a protest against Dave McCormick when he was a Board of Elections official. I want people to know about these types of things. Dom, 2 years ago, I won by 76 votes because of actions that they had to take. And if they were making these comments that they did 2 years ago, I'd be furious. I'm on the ballot every 2 years along with a lot of my other colleagues. We want to make sure that the right people are running these elections, that they're following the law and having the right actions. But ultimately, this is going to come down to the voters' decision. We can introduce the articles, great. Okay. I'd rather spend the time right now. I'd rather spend the energy communicating to you, communicating to other people that we have an opportunity here to tell everybody in Bucks County that their elected commissioners, that the people charged with running their elections in Bucks County are hyper-partisan, that don't care about the law, and are going to do what they want to do until a court order smacks them down.
Well, I'm still in the camp, Joe. Okay, I think you could do both at the same time, and I'm in agreement with the one. I think Democrats would do that. Yeah, absolutely. We know they would. Again, not to pick on Joe. He was good enough to come on. But Republicans still don't get it that people want something done. And this is not just about what she said, which was election interference, but it's also what they did, putting our listeners through 8 hours of torture, 7 hours of torture, just to vote with the mail-in ballot in person, out of spite. Well, we're complying with the judge's order. And 1,000 other things they've done over their tenure there that are all in the same camp of we're going to do whatever we want. In what is a Trump, Diana, Trump County now. You know that, and I know that. So do you just have to let it go? Is that what it's not about letting it go. It's the same thing with the Fitzgeralds and the death penalty. All right, I'll admit, confession. I don't let things go. Okay. There's a downside to that, I admit. There's a big upside, though. There's a big upside. They know we're still coming after them. They know it doesn't matter how long, be it the Columbus statue, be it Kenny, be it Krasner, be it the Wynn thing, be it whatever. We're not going to give up. And I just don't understand. This is the time to seize the day. You're not piling on a victim. She's not a victim. We were victimized by these two constantly over the last month or so. She's not going to rein it in. Yeah, she took Scott Presler going after her and others and all that. And she said, bring it on. It's not to 2027. This is what impeachment is for, or censure coming out of this, meaning, look at Trump. They don't wait election to election. They impeached him twice. They're getting ready to impeach him again, probably right in the beginning of it. Well, why do that? Which side do you like? Which side has it right? I think the Democrats have it right on this. Absolutely they do. People want to see, rather than just a few people hollered at her, we went on Twitter, she was a national embarrassment, that there's a repercussion here. Everybody has to have a repercussion that's meaningful, right? What has she suffered here? Are people going to remember this in 2027? I'll take that bet, that it's going to be hard to put ourselves back in that. If you can do it, there's a reason why this made so much news. It's that egregious. People do stuff like these two, but they don't verbalize it. That's right. I know it's illegal and I'm going to do it. That's the difference. All right, so I'm working on a couple of other people, or at least one at this point, to feel them out and see if they will bring this. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You're doing everything that you possibly can, particularly in the age of Trump. Isn't this one of the messages? I mean, is this so? They have a one-vote majority, and they're ruling as if they have hundreds of seats on their side. They have one seat they're barely hanging on to. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All I need you to do is just push pound 1210. You know, one of the biggest and healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements Black Friday sale is here. Right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity and cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and much more. So get shopping now. This Rescue Black Friday sale ends Monday at midnight. Shop today at res-q.com, res-q.com, or call a Rescue product consultant. It's easy. 800-26-ALIVE. That's 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off until Monday at midnight, so why wait? Just shop massive savings on essential health supplements at res-q.com. Do it today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything. Have you tried shopping jewelry television? JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles. Artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Are you looking to remodel your home?
Emmons Remodeling offers complete remodeling services to turn your house into your dream home.
With quality craftsmanship and attention to every detail, Emmons designers and construction experts can handle all of your remodeling needs, from kitchens to baths to basements and additions.
Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years.
He was in big trouble.
We're going to take your house, garnish your pay.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm.
I don't owe the IRS anymore. It was because of Optima Tax.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Actual client compensated for sharing their experience. Visit OptimaTaxRelief.com for details.
Looking for the confidence to walk away from the 9 to 5? Find out how with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Drier conditions return to the forecast this afternoon as a cold front moves through. It will turn breezy with a high around 54. Behind the cold front, a cold air mass moves in tonight, partly cloudy with a low 36. And for Friday, partly sunny, breezy and cold
with a high 47.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, it is Dom time. Get in on the side question. What else? Black Friday. I haven't seen enough to see that apparently today people are going to be more geared up. I can remember years, I have to put a number on it, 20 years ago, where this was a thing that was outrageous. People actually died. I'm not saying that today, but it seems like people are going back to the stores. It seems like people are in a better mood based upon anything that we can see. And it might continue. All right, so the side question, all-time deal. It can be a deal where both parties, like the Giant and Jack and the Beanstalk, seem to benefit somewhat. Maybe not the Giant in the end, or one where one side really benefits. It was a big deal, and they got a whole lot for it. We've had a number of them. It can be in sports, politics, life, whatever it might be. Let's go to the Earl of Tech Coney. Hey, Earl.
The 2023 Caller of the Year.
Yeah, we'll be getting to that right after we get the Person of the Year and all. The Caller of the Year is a more ferocious battle here.
More bloodthirsty, yes.
Yes.
I still have the scars. But for today's answer, I decided to go outside the box.
Okay.
Way outside the box. Outside in the other room. I'm so far out the box.
I can hear the doors. Yes.
My answer is based on The Who.
Okay.
So, in order to win today's show, I'd stand naked, stoned, and stabbed. I'd call that a bargain. The best I ever had.
All right, I get it. That is, Earl. Nice rendition. Absolutely. Big deal. Definitely outside the box. Have a good weekend, Earl. Thank you. By the way, talk about inside the box. A Manhattan Democrat. You got to see this woman. Believes that things like Trump's mass deportation of illegal immigrants and threats to punish states that oppose the move are severe enough to warrant a little norm-shattering thinking. It's not unreasonable to think outside the box. She chairs the powerful Senate Finance Committee. Her name is Kruger. This is Seinfeld. New York Democrats have only a few weeks to bolster their blue states, she says, against Trump. What she wants to do, in concert with several other states, is secede and join Canada. That's the plan here, yes, because I think New York still touches on Canada. So now, is this not insurrection? This is insurrection without firing shots. But, I mean, to take this state, let me see if I have the other states in here. I know it's New York, Canada. They're going to try to Trump-proof New York, but she thinks that may not be enough. We're talking a lot of money. A steep cut in federal aid could be devastating for a state with a $239 billion budget that receives about $85 billion from Washington. So these people are starting to recognize that the gravy train might be stopped here. They think they're better off being with Canada. All right, we'll see how many other nutbags, how much resistance there is around this. But I think you're going to see in the end, you're not going to see this unity as we saw against Trump in 2016. Here is Stephen Miller talking about Mark Zuckerberg, who went to see Trump and have dinner in Florida, the head of Facebook. Here's what Miller told us. Cut 5.
Stephen, real quick, Politico is reporting that Mark Zuckerberg was at Mar-a-Lago today meeting with President Trump. Can you confirm that?
Yes, that's correct. And Mark Zuckerberg has been very clear about his desire to be a supporter of and a participant in this change that we're seeing all around America, all around the world with this reform movement that Donald Trump is leading. Mark Zuckerberg, like so many business leaders, understand that President Trump is an agent of change, an agent of prosperity. Right. And so business leaders, CEOs, everywhere, they want to be a an element, a supporter, a booster of making our economy prosperous, delivering for American workers, and making sure that America is the most powerful, wealthiest, freest nation on the face of the earth. So we'll see what comes of that. And Mark, obviously, he has his own interests, and he has his own company, and he has his own agenda, but he's made clear that he wants to support the national renewal of America under President Trump's leadership.
Now, of course, progressives are saying he only went there to stay out of jail. Here we go again. So you're seeing all these good signs across the board, Bezos, Facebook, and hundreds of others, all trying to normalize here, in a sense. Texas is taking one for the team. Texas is going to bus migrants directly to ICE for deportation instead of sanctuary cities under a proposed plan. When it comes to the National Person of the Year, I was going to put up RFK Jr., Don Trump Jr., Elon Musk. But I've said for how many years that Governor Abbott doesn't get enough attention. What he's done by busing people to these big mouth blue cities who are attacking the people of Texas, et cetera. And as soon as they got overwhelmed in this manner, now all hell breaks loose. New York is still not recovered from it. The Denver guy. Abbott did what I think is moral and also politically masterful by the bus rides. But he's willing to just take them to ICE around this deportation, which I do think is going to happen on day one. Now, don't expect the media is going to be saying, oh, it was only 100 people here, 100 there. They're going to be targeted. They're going to target the right people. And maybe it'll take 6 months before we even get to 5,000 or something. That's okay. Because people are going to self-deport because they're being targeted about this. And not just willy-nilly rousting people in the middle of the night. They're going after people who have that deportation order and are criminals in one level or another, national security, and they're getting them out. Then after that, we'll see who the next tier is, who's the next group to be looked at. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Again, hit us with that all-time deal. There's a million of them out there. Hit us with one that you think maybe came out for both sides winning, or one scored a big win. Henry had a couple of sports related. I took off the board Alaska, of course. We heard a little twist by Susan in Chester Springs about Manhattan, Louisiana Purchase. If you buy an NFL team, that's a great deal. Just sit on it for even 5 years. And E.T., they wanted the Mars company to use their product with E.T. They said he was ugly, wouldn't do it. Hershey jumped in with Reese's Pieces. And that made all the difference. Phone lines right now, 855-839-1210. All right, let's talk FanDuel for a moment here. You can cap off the NFL week with a chance to win on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook. Now, new customers, you get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins on any game. You can bet anytime touchdowns, meaning you pick a player and you say they're going to score a touchdown at any point. Over rushing yards, over passing yards. Well, I hate to say Saquon Barkley, I would take under on the rushing that Baltimore is going to key on him. I don't see how you can take over, though. Henry, did you take either one there?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really tough call. But there are a million of these. Literally, there's just a tremendous variety that you can put in. All you have to do is check it out in your same game parlay. Just visit FanDuel.com/DOM, FanDuel.com/DOM to make every moment more this season. FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. And FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets. They expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Kale Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Either of you guys have your Christmas decorations up yet?
No.
You? No. It was 65 degrees yesterday.
We didn't even have fall, and we're just jumping into Christmas. I didn't even get my free turkey yet.
You need to at least wait until Thanksgiving week. Can we all just agree on that?
1,000%.
Friday or Saturday after Thanksgiving till January 1st. Then we're done. Take all your freaking decorations down.
Yeah, I typically take them down right after my birthday, January 3rd. What's the chat saying now?
Nothing. I'm just...
Is Justin in there crying?
No.
Make sure you check in this week, Justin. Tell us what we're doing wrong.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Your 401k goes up and down. That's fine when you're 40, but not when you're 60. Find out how to protect your hard-earned money. Tune in to the Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen, Saturdays at 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Don't miss a special edition of the Labor and Energy Show with J-Doc and Krause, brought to you by the Labor and Energy Alliance, this Saturday, November 30th at noon. Find out about the important issues that'll affect you. The Labor and Energy Show at a special time, this Saturday at noon.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I can buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit easyOutRealEstate.com. Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus from Investor Schooling. Did you know I have a radio show every Saturday from 1 to 3? It's called The Larry Steinhaus Show, and it's sponsored by Investor Schooling. On this show, you will learn things about finances and things about money that you never knew before. But even more of a reason to listen to this show is how much fun we have. If you haven't heard the banter between me, Omri, and Dr. Deb, you haven't heard the greatest show on earth. Listen to this show this Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on WPHT, and I promise you will learn something.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, Paoli. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
All right, it is Dom. Good Friday. Welcome in, everyone. 855-839-1210. Get in on the side question. Looking on Twitter, it's amazing. I'm not saying it's a majority. But you have any of these pundits, some of them are big-time sports writers, calling the team that forfeited, Boise State, forfeited to the San Jose State, the allegation of having a male on their volleyball team, cowards. That's what they are. They're cowards. No, I think they're thinking long and hard about this, and they're saying, look, we want to compete. We want to go to the NCAA tournament. We want to do all those things. But we are in solidarity to expose this once and for all. We're going to look back on this maybe even a year from now, or even Democrats, some of them, the Moulton guy, the congressman from Massachusetts, spoke out and said, really, we can't even talk about this with Democrats. Don't lead. My advice is don't lead with safety. The female will be injured. Lead with the fact this is not right. This is supposed to be competition. That's why we have female sports, the whole thing. This is ludicrous. And it's a tell. It's a tell about the radical nature and the underbelly of the Democrat Party. And their only advice to each other, Democrats, is camouflage. I'm reading this transgender pundit talking to the Democrat Party and saying, yeah, well, you don't want to get in the other side's face on this and all the rest, but they still want to do the same thing. And America's saying, no matter how you try to attack us on this or dodge it, it's not right. It says a lot about you. We're not bigots. You're not getting away with it. And if you want to keep on doing it, yes, elections in part, maybe a significant part, are going to be based on this. You're not getting around it. That's why the smarter Trump people spent $33 million in ads. $33 million, that's a lot of ads. I would have spent 50 on this. That's how much I believe it's a winner. And it's the right thing. And we're tired of it. All right, 855-839-1210. You do get a line. Let's go to Joe of Exton. He's in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Joe, welcome in.
Yes, hello, Dom, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Joe.
Today's question involves deals, beneficial or otherwise. Judas Iscariot betrayed the person of Christ to the Romans in exchange for 30 pieces of gold, a deal which he later regretted by hanging himself.
Joe, that's a big one. Absolutely. Have a nice weekend, Joe. Yeah, that's right on brand, too. Very biblical of Joe today, Judas Iscariot. All right, what else? On a day of big-time capitalism, a day of deals, get out there and get those deals. Jump in and hit us with an all-time deal. Maybe one party benefited a lot more than the other, or it was fairly equal in the end. However you see it, it's all in the telling, and hit us with that deal. It could be real or fictional, like Jack and the Beanstalk. All right, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. In moments, we're going to talk with Harry Hurley, the voice of the Jersey Shore, and he worked for years with President Trump as a casino, a big-time, top of the ladder there, casino executive. You see the mind of Trump in play already. I'll just cite you one, and I like this. Robert Kennedy Jr. is going to come in, and he's going to do some things that are going to be an improvement. But that doesn't mean every idea is correct. So Kennedy wanted a particular person to be the agriculture secretary to do massive things there. Trump put somebody else in, chose somebody else that is away from what Kennedy would want. I think is kind of a guardrail on this. And I think Trump day to day is going to give Kennedy a lot of power, but that doesn't mean something wild is going to happen there that's going to get the other side energized. So we'll ask him about that, but also about the governor's race in New Jersey. Somebody called in today that said, wow, Scott Presler is going to be going to New Jersey. This strikes fear on the other side, and it should. I think we got to get behind as soon as we're past this holiday, but I'm putting it out there today. Scott Presler deserves the Presidential Medal of Honor. He is exhibiting the highest standards of what a citizen should do. Just think about it. And it's not just because he did it for Trump and he won, but it's also these actions and what he stands for are legendary now. And he's bringing the big show to Jersey. How many people will he register? How much of a flip will we see? I don't know how much on paper Democrats have over Republicans in Jersey at this point, but they're afraid of it. They're afraid of it because Trump indicated that people are ready for something. And I think whoever the Republican nominee is, if it's the right one, and that's what the primary will filter out, they stand a better than 50-50 chance of winning. I hope it's Jeff Van Drew. Harry's right in the center of that. He's a powerhouse in Jersey. I'll ask him all about that, too. And your calls at 855-839-1210.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
It must be nice to not worry about how you're performing in the ratings on television. You're overpaid and you're not worth remotely close to that. Because I got to work in radio where every day is the Super Bowl. But that's fine. Double down, Anna.
Is it possible for these women to have a conversation without them all speaking over one another?
Well, you know what I do now? Since you guys can't stop talking over each other and we've got 12 of you on the set, because you got so much to say and you won't shut up and let the other person talk. So in order to justify your bloated, worthless salary, we're going 9 to noon.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
When the market reaches all-time highs, investors who try to sell high are met with the same excuses from their broker. You're in it for the long haul. Stay the course. Don't sell now, you'll miss out on opportunity. But crash-proof consumers have not missed out on the recent market highs.
Kathleen Ralco from Langhorne, PA. I haven't missed out on growth opportunity this year. As a matter of fact, we've capitalized on it with crash-proof. With the crash-proof retirement system, we've gotten over 10% this year. The market can still go down, but I don't lose any of that money. And it's no fees charged to that. I'm getting the benefits of the stock market, but I don't have the downsides to it. It's not too good to be true. We're living proof of it. It works.
You don't have to choose between security and opportunity. Schedule an appointment by calling 1-800-722-9728 or visit crashproofretirement.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Online shopping has eaten into Black Friday doorbuster deals, but Target's exclusive Taylor Swift Eras Tour book is among the perks of shopping in person. Pop-up bar Tinsel in Midtown Village is back open with over-the-top festive decorations and drinks, and Villanova football returns to the FCS playoffs, hosting Eastern Kentucky tomorrow.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio, now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
At California Psychics, we know you have your doubts about, well, psychics. After all, there's a lot of hocus pocus out there. From people who don't know their astrology from their elbow.
Your horoscope says you'll get the promotion. Oh dear, but you gotta watch out for flying pigs.
To tarot tricksters playing you for the fool. And fortune tellers who charge a fortune. That's why California Psychics reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So you can get advice without developing a flying pig phobia. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
It is Dom time. Welcome in Dom Giordano Show, one of our favorites, of course, whether we're down at the Jersey Shore or we bring them here to you from Talk Radio 95.5, WPG. The guy who Talkers Magazine, the trade magazine, says pound for pound, it's the most impactful show in America. The morning voice of the Jersey Shore, Harry Hurley, with us on Talk Radio 1210. Harry, welcome back in. Congratulations. New Jersey power rankings are out, and you got to go through all those progressives, but we still find Harry Hurley in there.
Oh, Dom, we made it, and it is great to be on your show.
So, Harry, first thing I wanted to talk about, the mind of Donald Trump. You and I have talked about some of the twists and turns of this. You worked with him as a big-time casino executive. So, you know, RFK Jr., if he gets through, which I think there's a pretty good shot, will have a lot of power day to day. But I was talking today about the agriculture secretary of all things, not the type of guy that he wanted because he wants to play off that. Trump recognizes you don't screw around in America too much with farmers and all those entities that are in there, particularly junk food. And he doesn't go with that person, indicating, hey, Trump's got guardrails here.
He does. He's a disruptor, but at the same time, that's a great way to describe it, Dom. He does have guardrails. He doesn't get credit for having guardrails. You know, those that criticize him just think he's a wild cowboy. You know, remember the old line used to be like Reagan. He was going to get us into wars and all these things. But after all, the guy with 50, 60 years in office was the guy that started wars all over the world. Trump started none. And he'll end, even Putin knows it, that he has to end that war once Trump becomes president. So, yeah, that's a great way to put it. If you look at the job that President Trump has done with the cabinet, the pace of his selections, and I said it from second one. I don't know what you thought, Dom. I believe he was playing four-dimensional chess with Matt Gaetz. If Matt Gaetz made it, he would have been shocked, and he would have taken him because he knows that Matt Gaetz would have taken care of business at DOJ. I believe he knew Matt Gaetz wasn't going to make it. But then if there was any other trouble, Pete Hegseth, for some reason, they're trying to make a big deal that Tulsi Gabbard, somehow, how is she not qualified? It's unbelievable. And the Nancy Wasserman Schultzes of the world calling her a Russian asset and things like that. Matt Gaetz going down, crashing and burning almost makes it that every other Trump nominee will be confirmed.
You want to take that bet?
Well, it's tough. It's like Tiger Woods or the field.
I hear you. Okay.
I will. Yes, I will treat you to your favorite lunch in Atlantic City.
Okay.
And this is a sucker's bet, but I'm the visiting team on the Dom Giordano
that's
show.
not fair. We got to put something in it to make this.
Well, no, I really believe it. I don't see any. Kennedy was going to be an Obama cabinet person. He would have been confirmed enthusiastically. Why won't he be confirmed now? He'll be confirmed. Tulsi Gabbard will be confirmed. Kristi Noem, they'll all be confirmed. Yes, I'll take the bet. Every nominee is going to be confirmed.
All right. We'll see. I don't want to bet against it, but I have to for this. So, Harry, let's go to deportation. And this is what I see Trump doing. Trump is not going to have the military knocking on doors and all that. It's going to be the ICE agents, the sheriffs across the country who are deputized can do this. There's a federal program. And the military will be logistic support and all the rest. How do you see it?
Here's how I see it. Why would anyone complain? They will, I say on the Dom Giordano show in Dom time. Tren de Aragua. Who would complain about going after these guys that are doing what they're doing in our country and all the other people that we know? There are enough bad guys that Holman and the whole kit and caboodle, they're going to be so busy. In the beginning, it's not going to be going after beautiful families and things like that. They're going to go after all the bad guys. So there's going to be plenty of them to take down, and they're going to get grief because that's what the other side does. But the American people support more than 60% the Trump plan. So he'll be fine. It is going to be mass deportation, but it's going to be drug traffickers, gangbangers, human smugglers. How about the 300,000 plus children that they don't even know what's happened to them? How about that 2-year-old baby that walked into our country, 10-year-old boy today? I mean, no, he'll be fine.
Yeah, there'll come a point where there might be a debate then about what are these others. But you're right. There's 1.3 million who are under a deportation order. That's low-hanging fruit. So, Harry, let's turn to the governor's race. Really interested in what you say about this. I know you know both parties very well, the two major candidates on the Republican side. The Democrats will try to pick a camouflage candidate ultimately if their base lets them. But, boy, I got to make it. The odds are on the Republican, if it's a right Republican, maybe 55-45 to win this time around. Going in, the wind at their back. Trump has proven this. So what are you looking at to determine as the primary starts?
Well, very simple. Jack Ciattarelli got 48.5% of the vote in 2021. Let's start there. Had the Republican National Committee listened and believed that he could win, they believed in garbage polls like Ann Seltzer type polls. If they would have helped Ciattarelli would already be running for his second term. Let's start there. Only Ciattarelli can beat the Democrat, no other Republican. It will be Ciattarelli, and it will be Gottheimer on the Democrat side. Book it on the Dom Show. That's your race right there.
Okay. Now, I'm interested that you say that. I'm very glad that you're one of the few people. The others are kind of wishy-washy, playing both sides against the middle here, telling me all kinds of stuff. But Ciattarelli, though, would Trump be behind him, given, I won't say he was anti-Trump, but he wasn't in the fore of Trumpian policies in the past?
Well, let's put it this way. You have Bramnick, you have Spadia.
Yes.
The absolute horrible things they said about Trump disqualifies them if you're talking about purely being the Trumpian candidate. Ciattarelli, and it was a criticism that I did have at the time, he was less supportive of Trump than I would have liked. But Ciattarelli came around, and he came around a long time ago. Ciattarelli is the Trump Republican. I know somebody else is faking like they are, but Ciattarelli is the Trump Republican in the race. I think that President Trump may wind up staying out of the New Jersey race. I say that qualified because that's not confirmed, but that's what I think is going to happen. And left to his own devices, Ciattarelli will not be able to be defeated in the Republican primary nor in the general election. And let me put one other fun fact on the Dom Show. It is this. Democrats since 1961 have not won 3 straight terms. So that would be 60-some years, whatever that is, 63 years of history. New Jersey goes back and forth. They always reward the candidate. You have to earn it. As you know, New Jersey, the most densely populated state in America, more than 9 million people. You have to earn it, and you usually have to lose the first time. Jim Florio lost. He won the next time. Christy Whitman lost narrowly to Bill Bradley. She won the next time. Jim McGreevey lost very narrowly to Christy Whitman. He won the next time. And I feel it, and I almost want to say I know it. Ciattarelli is going to win it this time.
Now, I'm a little bit disturbed that it's Gottheimer. I don't know him only from afar, but he's what I not fear, versus the others who it's a slam dunk. He can masquerade better, that he's not.
Correct.
I agree. That's well, the problem.
Know, Dom, you know how I do it. I say what I think.
Yep.
It's not that I want Gottheimer. It's that I believe that much like Phil Murphy, one time Steve Sweeney, the former Senate president, and Steve Fulop, the mayor of Jersey City, once it was going to be one of the Steves, and then along came Phil Murphy. The two of them got high-elbowed right out of the race. Murphy goes on to win 2 terms. Gottheimer is going to crush Sweeney and Gottheimer and the rest, or rather Fulop and the rest. It's going to be Gottheimer.
Now, I was hoping, though, for the NJEA president, given my background in education, et cetera, and for talk radio's sake, my God, he has no shot, though, right?
Yeah, in my estimation, and people keep saying, that he does, no shot. They're not even united. The money is controlled by the most liberal faction, but even the rank and file. No, I don't think he would win if only NJEA members could vote in the Democrat primary.
I hear it.
He will not win. It will be Gottheimer.
What's the overriding issue? Is it something like parental rights, or is it more there will be an incident or a trend that starts that plays into the broader ideological differences of the two sides?
I believe it's taxes, it's fees, it's woke is broke is a joke, and a desire now to, just like the American people decided that America lunged way too far left over the past 4 years, and Trump enjoyed such, that some try to say he didn't have a mandate. Oh, no. Yes, he did have a mandate. First Republican to win the popular vote in 24 years, and we could go on and on and on. Every battleground state, what he did with Hispanic voters, African-American voters, particularly male African-Americans. No, there's a change in this country right now. Like the Jaguar commercial is just one of the silliest things. Like they didn't get the memo. Volvo did get the memo and went pro-family. I believe New Jerseyans, it's now not a blue state. Joe Biden beat Donald Trump by 16 points. Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump by less than 5. Chitterelli lost by 1.5 points. New Jersey is a swing state now.
I think it is, and that's Harry is delightful but shocking to me. Maybe not to you. Maybe you saw this coming, but the breakthrough all of a sudden. What did it though? What is it? Just a tipping point?
I think this is a repeat of when Democrats were in control of the House of Representatives for 40 straight years.
Right.
And along came the class of 1994 in the midterm election, won the Senate, won the House for the first time in 40 years, worked very well with Bill Clinton. Remember, he did triangulation, and he went with education reform, welfare reform, and all these things that they, of course, the Clintons disavowed to try to win her the presidency. But I think it's just like that. You know, sometimes people get, not you, but people will get they overthink the House. America is cyclical. They go one direction, and then it's like, whoa, I don't like that anymore. Then they go the other direction. So the pendulum is, in my estimation, merely swinging back in a more reasonable, more moderate. We're a center-right country. We're not a hard-left, kooky, socialist republic. So I think it's as simple as that.
Well, I still think Jersey is, but you are there. You're the man that knows Jersey, so I'll go along with you. Only look at afar. What can they do next in Jersey? If it's changing, that's all for the good. Harry, where do people find you? What should they do?
The WPG Talk Radio 95.5 app or WPGTalkRadio.com.
Harry, thank you. To be continued. Have a nice weekend.
Honor to be on your show. Belated. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your lovely bride.
Thank you, Harry, very much. Harry Hurley here on Talk Radio 1210. I like it that he's straight up and he said, now look, Harry's the guy that vouched to me for Jeff Van Drew. You know, I said, Jeff Van Drew, from what I know, seems to be a pretty moderate Democrat, a Second Amendment, all that stuff. Remember when he was ready to make the switch? But a lot of people, I'm not buying any of this stuff, right? In the beginning. Look at Jeff Van Drew. Look at where he is now. Now, I do hope he runs for governor. I don't know anything on that front. We should have him on next week, and we'll see where that is. All right, you heard Harry talking about Jack Chitterelli. You heard Matt Rooney saying that he's going to just bring you on his show, et cetera, what he sees happening in this primary. It's going to be a fierce primary. And who is the Republican that can defeat, finally, in New Jersey again? It is cyclical. It's how Chris Christie won, although he was a great candidate the first time around. All right, more of your calls coming up, but first it is time for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
All right, today we are playing for a pair of tickets to see the Pennsylvania Philharmonic perform the music of John Williams on December 15, 2024 at the ZLOC Performing Arts Center on the campus of Bucks County Community College. Great spot. We often do politics and pints there. Love the people there. Henry, what's the backstory?
Yeah, Dom. So in honor of Black Friday, you may have heard me play the song Material Girl by Madonna earlier in the show. I'm going to play a cover of Material Girl, and I want the famous actress/singer that is performing the song.
Ah, okay.
Easy enough, all right?
Yep.
Some boys kiss me, some boys hug me. I think they're okay. They don't give me proper credit. I just walk away. They can beg and they can plead, but they can't see the light. That's right. 'Cause the boy with the cold hard cash is always Mr. Right. 'Cause we are living in a material world, and I am a material.
Yeah, they're launched in a lot of ways. Holiday was the other one. She did it Live Aid. Look at her now. All right, hit us with who is covering that song, and we will send you off to the ZLOC.
Parents of of young children about 10 years
Yeah.
ago definitely
Yeah.
know this voice.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
leave that in there
Yeah.
as too as a hint.
Yeah, oh, sure. 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All that we need from you is just push pound 1210. Give us your answer coming up here on Talk Radio 1210.
Only boys who save their pennies make my rainy day.
Kale and Company weekday mornings 6 till 10.
Insults that are used towards bald people, some of which I've never heard and some I absolutely love, including coconut bounce, eggshell, cue ball, light bulb, and slaphead. I love slaphead.
Yeah.
Slaphead
That's
is
what I
a
was-
totally underrated word in this country.
That's what I'm going to start calling the show.
Slaphead and Company.
Or Caillou.
Yeah, cue ball and co. That's what we should call this show.
Oh, yeah.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
This school year, get your child or grandchild the help they need to succeed. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now's the time to call Kathy Ganna and help your child have an outstanding year. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at metc.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@metc.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200. That's 215-493-4200.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years.
He was in big trouble.
We're going to take your house, garnish your pay.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm.
I don't owe the IRS anymore. It was because of Optima Tax.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Actual client compensated for sharing their experience. Visit OptimaTaxRelief.com for details.
Got a shopping list a mile long but need to charge your EV? No problem. Now you can fill up your cart and your battery at the same time. With a convenient network of Shell recharge stations at some of your favorite shopping spots, you can get everything done in one trip. Shop for groceries, clothes, and more while your EV charges up. And never miss a beat. Shell Recharge. Download the Shell app today to find the nearest Shell Recharge location. For more information on locations and how Shell measures reliability, visit shell.us/shellrecharge.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. 1210 WPHT.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That is right. All right, in honor of deals today, Material Girl, who is covering this song? All right, let's go to Diane in Gloucester, New Jersey. Talk Radio 1210. Who's covering the song? Diane, hi.
Hi, I think it's Cyndi Lauper.
No, it is not. I could see how you might get that from there. Yeah, there's that in there. Let's go to Rachel in Moorestown. Who's covering the song, Rachel?
Idina Menzel.
Yes, nice guess. You are going off to the Zlock. Thank you, Rachel, very much. Thanks for playing today. And we'll do it again, picking up on Monday once again for a great prize. All right, a couple of things going on at 855-839-1210. You got the side question, deal of the day on what else, this being the ultimate deal day. But I'm intrigued by this, and I know we reach out there, but even here locally. A lot of articles again today, and I thought this was settled a few years back. The debate over hunting season. Now, it's on my mind because on Wednesday in Pennsylvania, we did something that's not an official holiday, but it's widely celebrated with people being off or doing something. And in certain parts of Pennsylvania, we're told that schools shut down. Nobody goes. It's hunting season. It used to be on the Monday, right? After Thanksgiving. Now it's on Saturday. And you would think that would be more convenient, but apparently there's still a lot of resistance against that because people, I guess, feel they have to go on the first day and they've just, they're in a family holiday mode and then they have to go off hunting for I don't know how long. And it just underlines how certain parts of Pennsylvania, how rural they are, a different culture, all these places that Scott Presler's on, telling us, he's out there in Pike and he's in Monroe and all these places. I'm not sure which counties exactly are the biggest. But hunting season still being debated. And they did this, they thought, to free up people so that they could go on a Saturday. I remember the first time it happened, and there was quite a resistance. Apparently, there still is. All right, 855-839-1210. You will get on board. You heard Harry Hurley, who knows the mind of Trump pretty well. And I just saw that the Trump transition team publicly said, no, they are not going to go with executive order and take out of the military on Inauguration Day, at least then, people that are transgender. So let's talk about that. How do you feel about that? I mean, I made the point the other day that Trump's going to go after certain aspects of this, but I just had the conversation with Harry Hurley when people say that Trump just goes wild in a particular area. That really hasn't happened once he's in power. He's more calibrated, more weaving and bobbing on these things. For example, that's one, the transgender thing. I think he's going to focus in other areas with any kind of executive order where I like him to go, which is he's going to go after males in female sports. Now, there'll be a lot of backlash. Hard to believe, but that's what will happen. With the deportation, he's not going to use the military. He's not going to be a massive roundup of 1 million people. You're not going to see that. And you can tell me if that disappoints you. That's fine. This is going to be more calculated, though, than it was made out to be. And you're going to see big things, but not necessarily everything that some people want over a particular issue. It's going to be more controlled. And I mentioned the guardrails with RFK Jr., with his agriculture secretary. That's what that's about. All right? It's not going to be, I mean, Trump's going to be directing most of this stuff. I don't know about day to day, but the big things that happen, the broader things that happen, he's going to be the one doing that. And his instincts are not to go and do something just to make a splash. These things will be dramatic enough in their own right. So again, what is it that you hope on that first day we're going to see? 855-839-1210. You get a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless, all I need you to do is just push pound 1210 and we'll get you in. Looking at a story today, illegal migrant crime, the guesstimate is cost $166.5 billion last year. And you're going to see a fierce debate, and I'm ready for this. Over the years, the other side saying that people that are here illegally commit a much lower rate of crime. How is that logical? How would we even hazard any kind of shot in the dark with it? It's very difficult to tell. But the preliminary indicators are that if you have a criminal, they're going to get commit continual acts of crime, and people that are here illegally are no different. And there might be more of them. And the information we have of what they've done in previous countries. I mean, we have South American gangs now, today we're hearing, were the ones who burglarized the homes of Mahomes and Kelsey and other NFL stars because they know when they're playing. We've heard it here in Abington. One was a Chilean gang. So this idea that there's no crime here, Americans are the ones committing the crime, is ridiculous. Same thing with Mexico telling us we're the problem with illegal weapons. We're making the drug cartels have to make fentanyl because people want it in this country. All ridiculous. And Trump's job is to kind of wade through this whole thing and come to some kind of ground that the American people are going to be happy with. And I can only offer you that, again, this transgender thing started to be reported that Trump was going to sign an executive order saying you're out of the military. They've just said this afternoon, a little while ago, no, that's not true. The Trump transition team. All right, let's go to Chris in South Philly. And Chris, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Chris, afternoon to you.
Hey, good afternoon. Happy Thanksgiving again.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, I got one for you. How about Lando Calrissian when he made a deal with the Empire and backstabbed Han Solo?
What was the deal again?
They got to take over Cloud City. Apparently.
All right. Thank you very much. 855-839-1210. You get on board. You can jump in. All right. As I said, watch for Trump to zig and zag a lot. You know that by now, right? The other side is just waiting for something that seems to be, they want the picture. They want the moment. Remember, they're still going back to the so-called separation of mothers and children, families and children at the border, completely bypassing the unaccompanied minors, completely bypassing that a lot of those films, those stills were during the Obama years. We still see that being played out. That's not what's going to happen. It's going to be the stay in Mexico policy. That is the number one thing to be done day one that's going to curtail this. All right, more of your calls, and don't forget we'll get a winner for the week today, too. Hey, first, Black Friday. Busy as ever. No time to cook? Well, no worries. Let me remind you how much Captain Chucky's has to offer for your holiday table. So whether you're hosting or going to gatherings, remember how much you can stock up at Captain Chucky's. Now, we all know Captain Chucky's known for their fantastic crab cakes, wild-caught Gulf shrimp, and soups. Don't forget those. Captain Chucky's, though, is teaming up with some well-known family-owned businesses to offer some other great products. Captain Chucky's and Marciano's Bakery of Philadelphia have now launched their newest invention, the Bang Bang Crab Cake and Cheese Specialty Bread. Available right now, the specialty bread, the Bang Bang Cheese Specialty Bread, is available at two businesses this weekend. Captain Chucky's, most locations, and Marciano's of Manayunk in Philadelphia on Umbria Street. To get the Bang Bang Cheese Specialty Bread for the weekend and for your holiday gatherings, you go to most Captain Chucky's locations, visit the website, welovecrabcakes.com, call the location nearest you for details. Marciano's, 4653 Umbria Street in Manayunk. This is for today and this weekend only, meaning today, Saturday, and Sunday. For both businesses selling this item, a partnership between Marciano's and Captain Chucky's, and both say happy holidays. But there's a lot more with Captain Chucky's also. In addition to that, Captain Chucky's, most locations, also has a Taste of Philly section that carry the following family-owned items: Stock's Pound Cakes, Marciano's Specialty Bread, pierogies from the Pierogi Kitchen of Roxborough, Chef Matt's Key Lime Pies, Derby's Philly Famous Clams Casino, and the Vera Pasta Company of Westchester, who produce Captain Chucky's own line of pasta, including their 3 different raviolis, their own lobster, bangin' crab, and finally their shrimp scampi ravioli and their own jarred blush sauce. Check out the website and local Captain Chucky's for availability. And don't forget, though, the Dom Roll. My roll, that Dom Roll. Here's where you go. It's simple. There's a location near you. Just go to WeLoveCrabCakes.com. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. And if you're headed to the shore, don't forget, Captain Chucky's is there too. Visit CaptainChucky'sAtTheShore.com.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Radio listeners can enjoy reliving their meaningful memories for an insane 65% off.
Legacy Box is the best gift for you or a family member. And during our Black Friday event, there's never been a better time to preserve your past. Legacy Box start at only $27, with savings of over $400 when you digitize your whole collection.
Legacy Box is simple and safe. We digitize everything by hand here in the USA. You'll get your originals back, plus digital copies that protect your tapes, film reels, and photos from floods, mold, even the decay of time.
Make the holidays special and shop our best deal of the year. Visit LegacyBox.com to shop our Black Friday event and take an unreal 65% off. With limited quantities ready to ship, this deal will go fast.
The Legacy Box Black Friday event starts now. Buy your Legacy Box today and send in when you're ready. That's LegacyBox.com/value to take 65% off. LegacyBox.com/value.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Their video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Weather sponsored by Joseph Anthony, Retreat, Spa, and Salon.
Drier conditions return to the forecast this afternoon as a cold front moves through. It will turn breezy with a high around 54. Behind the cold front, a cold air mass moves in tonight, partly cloudy with a low 36. And for Friday, partly sunny, breezy and cold with a high 47.
Weather sponsored by Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon. The secret of finishing your holiday shopping with 3 locations, Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City at the Lowe's Hotel. Visit in person or online at josephanthony.com where gift cards are available. That's josephanthony.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano's show, 855-839-1210. The other thing I wanted to mention here, we're talking about Trump and how this plays out, are the tariffs. The media all over this. Trump is not going to be blowing up the economy with wild tariffing. You know that. We see what he did with China before. With Mexico, it's a game of leverage here, all right? And Mexico seemingly getting this, then pushing back. It's a push-pull that will be going on. It's another tool. It's not a bludgeon that he's going to be using. I don't see it coming out that way, and I don't see the Mexicans, fully capitulating on this, publicly anyhow. But this will be a constant back and forth with Mexico. What's our other alternative? To bomb the cartels, to attack them? I'm open to that. This just can't go on. It's not going to go on with this country and their nonsense constantly. That's the message from Trump. That's the message from America. All right, so 855-839-1210. That gets you in. Let's go to Drew in Upper Darby, Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Drew, afternoon.
Hey, Dom, thank you very much. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we did. Thank you.
Hey, Dom, I know the Matt Gaetz story. I know it's old news, but, I just have a theory. You're probably going to think it's crazy, but I think Donald Trump knew that the hearings were going to get ugly. So he knew Gates had no shot. But he put him there just to feel them out, just to feel the senators out. It's almost like his version of a rope-a-dope. You know what I mean? Just to wear them out and punch themselves out and just to see where it would go. But yeah, I know it's old news now, but I
hear you, but
that.
I'm not in that camp. I don't think that's a sound thing here. Do you think they're going to ease up on the big three of Tulsi, Pete, and RFK Jr. just because Gates went down in flames?
Of course not. Of course not. But he just wanted to see maybe how it would go. But like I said, I didn't think it would made much sense. But
I hear you. But when I got Pam Bondi sitting on the bench,
yeah, I hear you, man.
She's everything, and she's going to drill down on this. She's a loyalist up and down the line. Brilliant woman. She's everything that you would want to do this. Yeah.
I agree. Hey, Dom, my side question answer. Back during World War II, the University of Notre Dame was an all-men's college.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, they were really hitting some financial hardships. So the United States Naval Academy and U.S. government agreed to send some of their midshipmen through Notre Dame to help each other out, to revive the University of Notre Dame. And in their gratitude, Notre Dame agreed to put Navy on their football schedule every year. Every year. And since that's happened, I think Navy has only won one time, so it worked out well for Notre Dame.
Without a doubt. I'm surprised they won once. I mean, just when you look at the lines right there, you can know what's going to happen, no matter how creative or what you're going to do. Even in a down year for Notre Dame, Army, Navy, Air Force, I think has played them too. Oh, yeah, it's hard to believe. Okay, that's a good one, though. That's what we're looking for. That's the deal. Today, the ultimate in deals. Hit us with that all-time deal. One side benefited, or maybe both sides. The one that Drew had is a perfect example. One of the things that President Trump certainly is going to crack down on is what the Biden administration has done to Christians, religious freedom. Yeah, I still bring up the Richmond, remember the memo? Go out and look at these people. They're dangerous, potential domestic terrorists because they're going to a mass in Latin. Take down their license numbers, check them out. And we never got the testimony of the Richmond people who did this, the office there. Well, a new report shows nearly 70% of Biden administration's education enforcement arm. Yeah, the education department has an enforcement arm targeted Christian and career colleges. And the colleges in question were this Grand Canyon College, two of the nation's most prominent Christian universities, Grand Canyon University and Liberty University, which has been out of the news for a while, were subject to scrutiny for what they said. They face record level of fines. Apparently, they claim that they did not tell people what the real tuition would be. I got to see the particulars on that. But the overkill on this and the FACE Act, that's the act they got Mark Houck on. That's when they come and raid your house, if you remember, anything around an abortion clinic. Look, I get in broad terms what they're trying to do. They're saying you're not going to disrupt abortion. But the enforcement and the penalties around this and the fact that we have criminals running all over the city of Philadelphia, there's no sense of that. But let's go and invade Mark Houck's house at 7 o'clock in the morning with 7 kids in the house, heavily armed. You remember that, even state police in addition to FBI, et cetera. So just new report, how much enforcement went toward the Christian / also career colleges, but the Christian colleges. And we've seen this. And the reason that Harris didn't do as well this time, let's face it, Americans saw Biden as this, quote, Catholic / devout Catholic. He was able to masquerade on that, even though a lot of his positions should have been called out by the bishops who are cowardly on this stuff. Harris couldn't summon that. She couldn't call that up. And as a result, Trump won among that demographic much more handily than he did before with Biden. But this administration and the tenor of this, those parenting centers, those pregnancy centers, the manner in which they've gone after them, up and down the line, that's going to all change. There will be a big change in this. And the bottom line is this is about religious freedom. It's the same way that the Amish came on board in resounding numbers in Pennsylvania. Now, I'm not saying they won the election alone. And Scott Presler was so on top of this. That's a big voting bloc, Ohio, Pennsylvania, a few other places. It was the raw milk thing / their religion, their culture there, respecting that. This administration was one of the worst to go down. And Democrats will want to continue that. They don't believe in that. They're antagonistic toward all this stuff. So let's watch for those reforms. And who knew the education department, this enforcement mechanism or group that they have there. And again, the odds are tough to get rid of the education department. Once it gets in there, it becomes tougher. It will take a lot from Trump. But the big thing to do with Linda McMahon in there is to curtail it, to diminish it, to neuter it so that we don't see these things. And in the meantime, to try to rouse enough people to say the American people clearly don't want this. There's no need for it. It's a state/local issue. That's where these things ought to be resolved. Not a bunch of bureaucrats, sometimes thousands of miles away, with no sense of anything, just threatening. That seems to be one of the major things they do, threatening people with all kinds of things if they don't comply. All right, so 855-839-1210. That'll get you in. Jump on board. We have the lightning round next. Hit us with that all-time deal today so we get your name into the hat and we get that Trump book off to you. This is a good one. And it's one that's very historic coming up, to put it mildly, that caused a lot of issues. By the way, I'm looking at this story in the Inquirer. Now we're seeing parental groups and public school students that are against the proposed 76ers arena. They're talking about parents of children who attend over more than 50 public and charter schools across the areas that will be affected by this. They claim all kinds of problems with public transportation. They claim safety issues, et cetera, coming out of this. By the way, I've seen that the Sixers are proposing to give to people that have a membership, a season pass, season ticket holders, to give them free SEPTA for a year. Oh, my goodness. So they're going to send bodyguards. They're going to give them a Kevlar vest to wear on this. But face it, I'll tell you right here and right now, and I've said this from the very beginning, look at all these groups, look at all these reasons against it. In the end, it's not going to matter. They're going to shove this through because of the forces behind it, including the building trades, who put the mayor in there, big force of that. They want to do it. They're going to work them over. They're going to get it done. It reminds me very much of the soda tax. Remember how much that was fought over? But what they did is they got one group of unions to give them all these building projects in playgrounds and all. And they were willing to let the other union, the people who hauled soda, they didn't stand with them. They said, fine, take them out. You give us stuff. Same thing's happening here. They don't care, no matter how many arguments you make, historic Chinatown culture and all this. So what? We want this. The Sixers want it. I would argue, can you imagine this passing if the Sixers are still, with 3 wins, 5 wins, whatever it might be, Joel Embiid on another rampage of nonsense, and they're voting around this? It shouldn't matter. That's not the main thing, how the team is doing. But it is amazing how far this goes. I've seen it before. I had a lawsuit at one point around the stadium. Got it all the way to the Supreme Court, Superior Court. We lost 3-2 or whatever the configuration was there. Will this go to any courts to say, you got to be kidding me?
I'd be willing to bet that the performance of the team will have a direct effect on the stadium proposal.
I mean,
if they keep going the way they're going this year and they flame out spectacularly and they just drive everyone away, like this is the 10th straight year of the process, and there's just no hope for them. I don't know how many people are going to be still rallying behind this, if there are any at this point.
It's the right people. It's the building trades unions and the clout they have, and it's various the ministers, black ministers group promised those jobs in the new stadium. I don't know if you need anything else. I mean, that's what the problem is. To your point, you're right. Who is it that really benefits by this? It's those groups. All right, lightning round, though, is now. You get in at 855-839-1210.
Hey, it's Nick Kale, and we will be honoring Brad Adams, a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, for our Veteran Spotlight in December. Each month, we shine a spotlight on one outstanding local veteran in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation, celebrating their remarkable commitment to community service and their exceptional service in the military. Be here Wednesday morning, December 4th for our Veteran Spotlight, presented by Window Nation. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com.
You have key decisions to make about your money. Most investors don't beat the market, and neither do the hedge funds, who take a share of your profits. What if there was another way? A way for you to keep total control over your money where the interests were aligned. That's what the exclusive crash-proof retirement system is all about.
Mike Bizaccia here from Logan Township, New Jersey. You can't follow the market because nobody can predict it. What you have today could be gone tomorrow. That's the way it works, up and down, and your money goes up and down. That's what led me to see if there was another alternative. Crash-proof retirement gave me that alternative. With Crash-Proof Retirement, the money you make is credited to your account, and that money's yours. No ifs, ands, or buts, no worries, no fees. We had a high point of 13.5%. Once it's credited, it's your money to keep. That's a big deal.
Schedule an appointment by calling 1-800-722-9728 or visit crashproofretirement.com.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Right now, someone you know is hungry. The Catholic Charities Appeal needs your help to provide hope to those in need. 1 in 5 people benefits from the money we raise. I'm Ernie Russum, board president of the Appeal. Please donate at CatholicCharitiesAppeal.org.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Do you have water on your property giving you a headache, soggy yards, damp patio, pool area getting swampy? Visit GardenStateEarthworks.com, your drainage solution, 856-848-4444.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-408-4040. That's 800-408-4040.
Hey, girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
All right, Dom's Lightning Round is brought to you every day by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. See store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. All right, I just saw this on Staten Island now. A flash mob, dance mob, doing the Trump dance, a new thing. Expect to see it copied all over the place. Staten Island, there you go. Side question today. Hit us with that all-time deal. And this is the repercussions of this are huge. Let's go to Greg in the Northeast. Greg, what's yours?
Dom, I'm going to go with the Treaty of Versailles.
Explain.
It put American power on the global map, and we're still here. It really put our thumb on the globe.
It did, but how about the downside? Isn't that what Germany resented and led to Hitler ultimately?
Yes, it did. But where's
big.
he?
Yeah, it's big.
And where are they?
It's big. Yeah, it's true. No, but that was the thing that he went back to again and again and again. And my point being, was that too over the top, what they made Germany have to pay, et cetera? Richard in Summerdale. Richard, afternoon. What's yours today?
Good afternoon. Before I get to my question, I wanted to say I was surprised when Biden decided to give the two turkeys the pardon. I thought he was talking about Harris and Walt. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
But my guy is Boston Red Sox trading Babe Ruth to the Yankees.
Yeah, and the Red Sox are not going to get Juan Soto. I don't care how they're posturing. They don't have. It's not going to happen.
That ownership group won't do it. They're a little cheap.
All right. So, Henry, who are some of the contenders today?
Yeah, I like the ones where I learn a little something.
Yes.
Robert and Ben Salem give me a little backstory I hadn't known about the
Beanstalk,
Children's Tale Jack and the Beanstalk. And then the other one I really liked was Drew and Upper Darby's of the Notre Dame and Navy deal. I had no idea that's how they played every year. I just thought it's because Notre Dame loves cupcakes on their schedule.
Yeah, I did too. Let's go with Drew and Upper Darby. Put them into the hat. Now, we only have 3 winners this week due to the holiday and due to all the nonsense, wild stuff. It was the greatest day in quite a while on Monday. So 3 contenders. Let's go.
Yeah. So Tuesday, we did an all-time catchphrase. Dave in Oak Lane said, first time, long time, as that a lot of callers call in saying that. Wednesday, we did unofficial holidays. Leslie and Bryn Mawr won with another radio legend of Wing Bowl.
Yep.
And then today, obviously, we have Drew and Upper Darby's answer of the Notre Dame versus Navy deal. And if we put all of those into the hat, boom! Tuesday's winner, Dave in Oak Lane, first time, long time.
That was I think
he's a first time prize winner too. So good for him, long time listener.
All right, so Dave's a winner now. On Monday, I'll start rolling out some of my Christmas stuff, like who do you tip? Who's in your tipping circle? We have to curtail that. How much do you tip the tree guy? Always gets people. Let me write that one down. The tree guy.
Yeah.
The white lights versus the multicolored lights. That always, and a bunch of other things. We'll mix it in. And don't forget, you'll be able to start to vote on the local person of the year, the regional, and the national. And we'll have the caller of the year later in December. So we have, Worthington, Linda Kearns, and Jeff Van Drew, local. Regional, Scott Presler, Dave McCormick, and Sean Parnell. National, so far, I have Elon Musk, Robert Kennedy Jr., and Don Trump Jr. I kind of like the juniors in there. All right, check out my Twitter at DomShow1210. I'll start to put it up over the weekend, and we'll have a lot of fun with that. Thanks to Henry for producing today. Everyone have a great weekend. Again, follow on Twitter at DomShow1210. All that here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can